Oh, that was cool. That totally worked, I think. Anyway, sweet video cuts for the win. Um, so yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and do some player introductions, and then I'm going to have to update this overlay, actually. I'm seeing it says Series 2 Game 3, not entirely accurate, that. Anyway, spawning in the south, we're going to have the Allied forces. It's going to be Team Black Phoenix, consisting of the United Kingdom forces of Cactlosio, and the Soviet forces, who spawn here, of Kyle Akira. And spawning in the north, it's going to be Team Gold Path 2, consisting of the Wehrmacht forces of GP2 Refuro, and the Overcommand West pieces of GP2 Nagano. So, yeah, the map today for our entertainment and enjoyment is going to be Rails and Metal, which we basically never get to see in 1v1, so already feeling pretty hyped to see what the pro players can do on a map like this. And, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and edit these overlays, leaving you in the capable hands of my co-caster here, Festive Long Johns.
All right, looks like we got a pretty standard opening here for the Brit player. He's going to pop out a Vickers and rush it straight to this all-important house. Pretty standard stuff as far as Rails and Metal go. Nagano not going to pressure this too hard, just kind of giving the old obligatory capping of this point right in front here. In the meantime, this Vickers is about to hop in the house, and Refuro is going ahead and soft capping the north, not opting to send any of his initial starting squads to the south. Stern Pioneers, bit of an RNG war against these infantry sections. It's going to come down to who drops a model next, I think. Infantry section does drop the model, but actually the Vickers stalls enough time for the Vickers to hop in the house, so that infantry section doesn't have to retreat. Very nice.
Yeah, that was nice. Yeah, the Storm Pioneer is going to be forced back. I imagine that Tommy will probably retreat because he's only on one man, but yeah, nice opening break there, and of course getting the Vickers into what I'm starting to call the dream house, you know, when there's like one really sweet building for an MG. Yeah, so he's got his Vickers MG up into the dream house here. He's living the dream. He's hosing down Germans. And yeah, that's going to be pretty hard to displace. And he's also on the same side of the map as Nagano, and Overcommand typically do have more problems getting machine guns out of buildings than like other teams. So yeah, we'll see if that's going to play a role here. Actually, the Allies not really committing to the north at all.
Yeah, they totally doubled down on making sure they secured their fuel, and I honestly, I see a lot of players do this, but I don't know how often it actually pays off, especially as allies. I mean, it kind of makes sense as Axis because, you don't want to get swarmed in the early game, but it really leaves you vulnerable in the north. It's basically just ceding half the map to the Axis.
We've got a sniper team here for Kyle Akira. Soviet snipers going to make their presence felt. And this again actually is a unit that Overcommand has a hard time dealing with. So Kyle Akira getting set up really nicely here. He's got this Vickers covering him from his teammate Cactlosio. Damn, that's a hard one to pronounce. And yeah, with these snipers here, Nagano's going to have a really hard time getting his teeth sunk in. Now, the Sheriff Mach Schlepper is just now on the field, so we'll have to see what the tech of choice is going to be for Nagano. Usually it's mech these days, but in a 2v2 it could be anything, conceivably.
Well, he's moving all the way up here to... and actually, it wouldn't surprise me if Goldpath went with the same strategy they did in the finals of the last clan clash, which is throw down that tier 1 in the middle of the map here, basically just cut your retreat point in half, and just really pressure the middle VP from there. I mean, they've got such a short distance to the middle VP with this early headquarters. It's going to give them a ton of map control. It's a really proven strategy. Works, very well if they can pull it off. A lot of early pressure here from Nagano, and he's got lots of Volksgrenadiers pushing up into the middle, and yeah, Allies forced off of a lot of the map. This is really nicely played.
Yeah, it's looking really
These
good.
infantry sections aren't going to be able to stick around either.
Yeah, I mean, the Pioneers even getting up close and doing some damage, taking names at point-blank range. But yeah, I really like the choice of battle grip at HQ. I also really like the positioning. The Wehrmacht player here, Refero, is going to be able to use this to heal his troops and reinforce them too if he can soft fall back to it. It also means that he doesn't need to worry about getting a bunker to heal this sniper that he has. Whoa, hang on. Oh, he's already lost a sniper. Where did that happen? Did he? Oh, no, here's the sniper. Sorry, he's getting a second sniper. Damn. So anyway, he's going to have a forward healing point for those two snipers. That's going to make them pretty damn efficient, as long as he's able to not have to fall them back. And if you look at the minimap, Refero and Nagano really taking it to the allied players here. Gold Path at the moment securing a lead, it's safe to say, over Black Phoenix.
Yeah, we've got a second sniper coming from Akira as well, so both of the vanilla CoH2 faction snipers doubling down. One sniper actually forced off by these Urian conscripts, and the allies are slowly but surely kind of pushing their way back into the middle of the map. They're not going to be able to stick around very long, though.
Yeah.
Conscripts are probably going to get the decap on this munition point, but aside from that, this is not going to be a sustained push. Both teams just kind of harassing right now. Black Phoenix doing a good job of regrouping relatively quickly, getting back on the field, but looks like CoH2 didn't fully reinforce his infantry sections here. He's got 2 squads with only 3 models left in the squad, so not going to have as much staying power.
Yeah, that is really awkward, actually. That's going to make these Tommies like really ineffective. Yeah, look, this squad's just getting peppered by Storm Pioneers. The MG42 gets set up with a nice arc, actually, catching a number of these British squads. SAS, oh sorry, no, these are still the Soviet snipers out in the field. Is this a second squad of Soviet snipers? That's crazy. Yeah, it is. So we've got 2 squads of Soviet snipers. Brutality. So it's going to be a bit of a sniper fest out here to begin with. Wehrmacht snipers, Soviet snipers exchanging rounds for now. And an infrared half-track from Nagano. Man, 2v2s are just crazy. I feel like I don't know anything. So, yeah, infrared half-track going to be the choice. That's going to enable them to see what's coming pretty much all the time and get a really high degree of intel and scouting, almost for free. Which I suppose in a 2v2, which is a lot more chaotic and a lot less kind of empirical by its very nature, an infrared half-track's pretty cool. Like in a 1v1, you kind of know what to expect, or at least you can kind of deduce, but 2v2s are so chaotic. I really like this pick, actually.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You know, there's twice as many units to spot. You're not going to get caught off guard nearly as bad, and the longer it's on the field, the more information it provides for you. So it actually is going to do a nice job of allowing Nagano's snipers to, or I'm sorry, Referra's snipers to roam, because that half track will detect the Soviet snipers, which is just insanely useful when you've got 2 of them on the field, and the Soviet snipers are 2 models and the Austria snipers 1. You got little margin for error there.
Yeah, another nice fight being taken here by Nagano. These Tommies just don't have the spine to stand up to these overcommand forces just now. Volksgrenadiers, Storm Pioneers just bullying them around. And CoH2, he's pushed like right back up. His position's so compacted. Like if you look at the minimap, he's pushed a lot further back than the Soviet player. I guess because that Vickers being in the building actually really helping the Soviet player as well. So Kyle Akira feeling a bit more secure. Anyway, here's the AEC, so we're going to have to see what the plucky scout car can get done for the British forces here. It's got a lot of work to do, and there's already Shreks. There's 1 Shrek on this Volk. There's also a Rakettenwerfer, so this AEC has to be super careful.
Yeah, AEC is going to have a pretty big impact, because the Black Phoenix has already been ticked down. Despite having this MG in the building, Goldpath has done a really nice job harassing this VP on the right, making really good use of the sandbags here for green cover, not allowing the Vickers to get the suppression off. And they actually forced a triple cap on the Allies for quite a while. So very nice early game for the Axis. This armored car is getting awfully close to this Rakettenwerfer.
Yeah, he could lose it here. He needs to back up. Oh, smoke gets popped, so that will save it. An attack ground round is attempted for, but no connection is made. And the Soviet player has actually gone ahead and locked in the guard motor coordination tactics like pretty early. And he already has a 120mm mortar on the field and in position, and that is like laying down some pretty heavy boom all over the Axis forces. No good hits yet, but with that 120mm, it only takes 1 or 2 good hits, and you just start losing squads. So the snipers as well for the Wehrmacht player are going to have to be really careful, I think.
Oh wow, what was that? Is that the squad wipe? Oh, Tommy's going down.
Really?
Is that a 2-man Tommy squad that just died? It was.
Oh,
Looks
no.
like CoH2 just lost a squad on a mine there. Nice nice placement of that mine. So,
yeah, so that was just here.
It's just worse and worse for the Allies.
Yeah, at the moment. But they still hold 1 of the victory points. They're down only by, well, I say only, they're down by 150 victory points. But, you can come back from that. There's a nice concave being set up here.
Absolutely.
Tommy's in good positions. There's a sniper at the back here set to hold fire. So he's clearly watching and waiting for the Wehrmacht sniper to reveal himself. That 120mm is still flailing in, and every roll of the dice, every shell fired, could be like incredibly bad news for the Axis players. It's gotten some damage done already, so I do like the 120mm mortar. And let's investigate this defensive position for the Allies here. So we've got the Vickers in position. They're actually pushing up a little further on the right flank, which I really like, trying to get all the resources they can, which of course they need. And yeah, I don't know, they're just going to have a really hard time breaking this hard point with the Battle Gripper HQ and the infrared half-track. Like, the 120mm is a good start, but what else do you think they need?
Probably a Katusha, I'd say.
Okay.
I mean, you're not gonna be able to take that out frontally. CoH2 should be really punishing. I really like the choice to go for guards. Guard motor is just really strong when you're going to tier 1. Kind of gives you a little bit of that soft AT. It's really old strategy.
Sorry to interrupt. A brutal grenade barrage. Yeah, catching these Tommies off guard. Caxlosio at the moment, maybe he needs a little more coffee or something, because there's just a couple of little misplays coming out. He does feel like he's a little bit flustered, perhaps. I don't know. Like, it's funny, isn't it? Because when you play on the ladder, you know, everything goes fine, and then as soon as you play in a game that matters, or a best of 3, or you're playing against someone you know, suddenly it all just comes apart, and you're like, oh god. Anyway, whoa, conscripts here could get wiped. Looks like no squad wipe is going to be forthcoming. Oh, he does get mowed down! So the Allies getting punished yet again. And a bundle... Oh, sorry, that's a guards grenade. Nicely dodged, though. Nagano well on top of it. And what's this?
Yeah, look, I mean, just look at all this infantry surrounding the battle group. You know, even if you do force a retreat, they've only got, you know, just a couple steps back, and they're right back on the field. So you're not going to be able to push this off without some serious indirect fire. And you know, it looks like Caxlosio is responding to this by getting himself a mortar emplacement and just harassing the right side. So nice response here from Black Phoenix to just try and work around this hard point and get some indirect fire on the field.
Yeah. I really like the mortar pit. It bolsters the 120 mil mortar really nicely, and I think is it in range of the battle group at HQ? I don't think
it can
so,
barrage
actually.
quite that far.
Okay, that's a bit of a shame then, because if it could, that'd be great. The 120 mil may have range. In fact, I'm just going to turn on Fog of War here and select the allied players and see. Do they even know? They don't even know the battle group is there. They don't know.
They haven't spotted it yet.
Yeah,
no.
so that explains this mortar positioning. Okay, well that's some crucial scouting information the allied players need to pick up on. They haven't managed to pierce with a unit, and they haven't had any call-ins which have spotted that, so that is important. As soon as they know that, they can start pressuring it down. Like, they've got a lot of indirect fire, so they can do it.
Yeah, and I think they've probably got a hunch. You know, if they've watched Gold Path at all before, this is such a strong strategy on this map. It's just so hard to push off in the early game. So I think Black Phoenix probably has a pretty good idea of what's going on here, just because of their field presence from Gold Path. But yeah, I also really like the pyrotechnic tech from Black Phoenix, because he does have tons of munitions, and you know, with the way that the Axis are currently grouping up right now. I mean, we all know how just horribly inaccurate the 25-pounder base artillery is.
Yep.
But there's just so many targets. There's a good chance that they could get some work done with that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's horribly inaccurate, but it's also horribly cheap. So if it ever does get hits, you're like miles ahead. So yeah, I think you're right. I mean, he only has his company. Actually, no, the company command post coming up now, so he's going to have both 25-pounders shortly. But anyway, there is a Stukas of Fuss, and it is taking shots right now. The Werferman trying to find the mortar position, and the 120 mil splashes 3 guys down on the 120 mil. Good hits coming here for Nagano and his Stukas of Fuss. So yeah, a lot of damage on the mortar pit. Might have to force back this 120 mil. Just 3 men on there. So yeah, nice work. The Stukas of Fuss are pretty good counter to all this indie. Oh, sorry, indirect fire. Sometimes I just call indirect fire indie.
Oh god. Yeah, we gotta be careful, because I get in the habit of using acronyms too much, and I forget that maybe not everybody knows just what the hell I'm talking about.
Yeah, exactly,
you know,
yeah.
I've played this game so long, but there's, you know, surely gonna be some newer viewers hanging around here trying to learn some things, and you know, I can't make those assumptions.
God, that's a bit of a liability, isn't it? People trying to learn about Company of Heroes 2 from us. Ha!
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah. 2 sniper squads and an SAS sniper. That's a lot of sniping, actually. And if you look at the minimap, actually, the battle lines are shifting slowly but surely. The allied players are pushing up on the left, and they've actually grabbed the VP, which is nice. So 5 victory points have been bled off. Yeah, it's not much, and the Axis forces are going to take this right back. But it's a start. It's a statement of purpose. And, you know, when the Axis forces do try and take this back, these 3 snipers can just kite and bleed manpower here, which is really nice. Whoa, these Tommies need to get out, actually. So yeah, the allied players know what they need to do, and they are doing it for now. I think the Werferman can fire again really shortly, the Stukas of Fuss, and like he hasn't repaired the mortar pit or like remanned the 120mm mortar. The allied players haven't done either of those things, so if it fires again, that could be devastating.
Yeah, he's going to have to be on point with the brace, and here we go. Gold Path coming out with the Flak Panzer, the good old Oswind. So they're going to have some pushing power now to go with all their insanely strong field presence, so it's going to have to maybe get lucky on a mine here or something for the allies, and you know, it's going to be, things are going to start getting tough. I mean, you know, Akira doesn't have tier 2, so he doesn't even have access to AT guns.
Oh god.
You know, obviously the Brits have, you know, just a fantastic AT gun and the 6-pounder, so you can rely heavily on that. But yeah, this Ostwind's going to be able to really deny any sort of harassment.
Yeah, Werferman's going to be taking some shots here, and it is firing in the same place. Let's see what the hits are. Oh, he tags the AEC a little bit. The brace comes down in good time, though, and that prevents the mortar pit from really taking any damage. So actually, pretty much all the damage was just some paintwork to the AEC and, like, one man off this 120mm mortar, which really should GTFO. It is so... Yeah, there we go. He's going to fall back. There we go. You know what? I think the 120mm mortar can actually survive with one man, can't it? I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's the only mortar in the game that doesn't. The gunner or the whatever the last guy is not just a total pussy and just runs off the field. And he's got a giant. His mortar's the heaviest too. Like it makes no sense. He's like,
I know. It's like this giant thing, and he's just like, no, I got this. I'm gonna get it out of here. Anyway, yeah, the AEC under a considerable amount of pressure here. 2 snipers here to assist, though, so I imagine this will be deflected. Oh, good mine placement. Going to blow up a lot of Volksgrenadiers there. Yeah, body parts flying through the air. This AEC kiting nicely.
Ooh!
Yeah.
The snipers did a very nice. They picked off that Volk squad on retreat.
Oh, really?
So nice squad wipe here from Akira. Yeah, that was really well done.
Oh, very nice. The mortar pit, though, coming under a lot of pressure. The Stug moving in, the Ostwind. We've got Volks here with a Shrek. And I imagine that mortar pit has to go down.
It was late, too.
Well, it was on cooldown still.
Maybe it was on cooldown.
Yeah,
okay,
it was.
Yeah.
And we've got a Firefly coming for the British player, and this is a very spicy choice. I'm really liking this. This is going to let them control this Axis armor and even try and pick it off a lot easier. How many munitions has the Brit player got? Yeah, well enough for Tulips, so this is going to be dangerous.
Yeah, very nice choice, I think. I'm not a huge fan of the Firefly, but in this situation, I think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
You know, its reload is just absurd, so, you know, unless they all in with the Tulip rockets, it's not going to be able to probably clear this Axis armor, but yeah, it'll definitely keep him at bay.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, and if he manages to get like an AT grenade from these conscripts or anything like that, or even just, you know, any kind of snare at all, a mine hit, I mean, the Firefly will probably convert that into a kill. So that makes life a lot more fraught for the Axis infantry here. 6-pounder actually finding a nice angle on this Ostwind. The SAS sniper going to stun the turret as well. So that's just going to push back the Axis armor yet again. And let's see what have the Axis players got coming here. Nagano still has battle gripper tech. Does he have any other tech?
He has mechanized, I believe. Yeah, he's mechanized as well because he went with the Stuka.
Oh yeah, of course.
Looks like he might be going to lay down some tech right now. His supply half-track is on the move, so maybe going for, you know, potentially a Panther, but here we go. Akira has teched all the way to tier 4, and he's getting the Katusha out, which I think is exactly what they need to deal with this right now.
You were saying that earlier, and yeah, I totally agree. Whoa, Stuka Zafus, though, taking some shots here. It's going to find a big concentration of British and Soviet forces here, but somehow only getting one man from Wales, a Royal Engineer, going to be gibbed by that rocket. I think that was a pretty lucky break for the Allied players there. That Stuka Zafus pretty inconsistent. The way the rockets fall, sometimes you can like have them go across a load of units but not actually do any damage. And that was one of those times. Anyway, it looks like we got a little bit of an aircraft there briefly on the field, but that got shot down. What was that? A marked target or something? No.
That was the recon from the command vehicle. Looks like he's turned his armored car into a command vehicle, which essentially has free recon on like a 120-second cooldown. It's like a 2-minute cooldown. Totally free. It's one of the strengths of this commander, actually.
Yeah, and it buffs allied units around it as well, like really a lot, as far as I remember. Like massively increases their rate of fire and accuracy. So
it does.
That's pretty cool.
It'll pair well with the Firefly. Pairs really well with the Firefly, actually, because that's the biggest drawback to the thing is this rate of fire is just awful. Yeah. I don't know if I like the call of putting it on his AEC, though, because it totally gives the effectiveness of the unit itself. I mean, most of the time you see that ability used on something like a Bren carrier, but opting to go with the AEC, so, you know, he's going to have to be really conservative with it, as it'll just be obscenely slow as it stands now.
Yeah, one problem for the Allied forces is obviously the scoreline. Like, they're at 165, 162 now, under 492, so trailing by, you know, 330 tickets. Never good. They don't hold a single VP. They're making a move on this south one right now, which is what they need to do, but I really worry right now that Black Phoenix are going to be pushed out of this game on score almost before it's begun, simply because of the dominating nature of this massive Axis hardpoint, which has been so hard for them to remove. And they might just die before they get the tech out to get rid of it, you know? I mean, Because the Katusha, I mean, is that even on the queue right now? Yeah, so the Katusha's on the field, in fact. Yeah, oh, it's taking a barrage now, so let's track this one. But this is a little late. They're already down at 142. And the Katusha's going to find the IR half-track, actually. And awkwardly, not a lot else. These rockets not doing anything. Gets some damage on
Yeah,
TNG.
he's so far back. It's an absolutely max-range barrage. You know,
Yeah.
typically with this indirect fire, if you want to expect to actually hit any concentration of units, you got to be relatively close. So yeah, you're right though. It's the Allies desperately trying to stay in this game. They have managed to retake the right VP, and the 85 is now on the field. But Nagano does have his tier 4 up, and he has just absolute ton of fuel. So could be seeing a Panther. It could go Command Panther as well if he has the C, or once he gets the CPs for it. Oh no, we need the manpower for it.
Oh! The Werferman manages to find the 120mm mortar there, taking it down to one man, which is pretty brutal. That's going to fall back, but again, it's Hero Vasily here with his mortar. He's going to be able to truck that out of there solo. No worries, guys, I've got this. It's not even slowing him down. In fact, he's carrying 2 barrels with him on my screen. That's nice work from that guy. He's going to get some fuel back to base, clearly. Oh, the Company of Heroes 2 engine, always a delight. And yeah, these Hero Tommies in mid actually managed to decap the middle VP, getting the Allies out from under the clock for an instant. But, you know, there's an MG in position, there's a Stug, there's a lot of supporting stuff. So he's going to be forced back pretty much straight away. There is actually a Vickers gun also, like, suppressing these squads in mid for the Allies as well, which is really cool. But it's not enough, and the Axis are going to take back that middle VP.
Look at all these fuel caches, Magpie. Look at the Axis fuel income right now. It's just absurd. The resource flow from Nagano is crazy. He doesn't even know what he wants to get. He's just rolling in the resources right now.
Yeah, you're right. That's nuts.
Uh-oh, snipers.
Yeah, we've got a fight here between the T-70, so the T-34-85, sorry, and this Oswind. If the T-34-85 fancies a chase, he can probably bring it down. Is he going to do it? Wow.
Mark target.
Yeah, PTRS rifles are actually going to bring it down, and the marked target, yeah. So the Guards infantry providing some good support there, and they're going to nail an Oswind. Nice pickup.
Yeah, that'll help. They're going to need about 3, 4, 5 more of those if they're going to get back in this game. They're going to have to start making some plays.
Sorry to interrupt.
They do
Panther
have the nasty artillery cover.
This Panther just ran over all the Guards. There's only one left, and he's not falling back. He just ran. All his squad mates have just been run over.
He's
anyway,
got the button on the. He's got the button on the Panther.
Yeah. The Firefly comes in. This is turbo risky. It's now surrounded by a concave of Volks with Shreks. Boom, takes a lot of hits. That Firefly now in turbo jeopardy. Needs to get back, and he does. But that was close. Very risky play with the Firefly, and that's going to be out of circulation for a while whilst it repairs.
Yeah, I think if the Allies wanted to stay in this game, they needed to have really, really timely use of that artillery cover. And as you can see, it just dropped, but they have nothing to follow it up with. I mean, that ability is so strong. It's 250 munitions. It really does, you know, do a ton of damage if you can call it in on a nice concentration of units. So, I think a bit of a reactionary play. It's going to buy them just a little bit of time, but I really would have liked to see them, you know, put something together to make a big push with that ability.
Panzerwerfer are going to take some shots here, and amazingly, it finds these Soviet snipers. The barrage killing just one. I can't help but feel that's a bit lucky for Karl Akira. The T-34-85 also taking some hits. That's now down at half health. And what is this? What is this support call in here? Oh, it's the artillery cover. Oh, right. That's why there's shells landing on all the Axis guys, breaking engines and doing rough things to them. That ability is so great. 250 munitions, and it just stuns and kills everything.
Yeah, it's looking pretty grim at this point for the Allies. They're desperately trying to take this middle VP, but there's just absolutely nothing. They can't sustain a push because they just haven't managed to force off this hard point. I think they really needed more indirect fire earlier in the game to punish this, this grouping of infantry like that. Here we go. Katusha's coming in now. Gonna miss its mark almost entirely though. The Allied or the Axis split their forces nicely. So yeah, it's looking rough here. It's we might see an epic comeback. You never know though. I don't want to sell these guys short. Obviously, both these teams are excellent players.
Yeah, I mean, and they've gotten themselves out from under the clock again. They are pressuring mid. So they might be able to draw this out long enough to cobble something together. They've still got the tools they need, you know, Firefly, Command Vehicle, Katusha, T-34-85, these are all good stuff, these are all good units, I mean. So, you know, the tools are there for the Allied players. They just don't have time to work with, and they need to pick a fight into this horrible Axis hardpoint, which is... It's going to be so hard. I feel like... I still don't think they know. Let me just turn on Fog of War. So they actually know about this battle group at HQ. Okay, they do know about it now. But that means that the Katusha can start focusing it down. And, you know, there's a lot of units around it, so you could get some hits on that too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you know, like you said, just in that tournament you saw yesterday, Von Ivan with a far inferior army composition managed to pull it off. Oh wow, that was a really nasty Stuka barrage.
That was pretty good actually. I don't think, did it wipe a sniper squad? No, it didn't actually. That's lucky. Again, those snipers so lucky.
Yeah, here we go. We got the British 25 pounder base already starting to barrage this hard point here.
Oh, good.
You know, that's gonna help. It's gonna need some RNG.
Yeah, that's what they need.
They need some luck. Need some luck to turn this game. Pray to the RNG gods, boys.
We're up to over 100 viewers, into the triple figures. Awesome. Very glad that you guys decided to tune in and spend your evening with us, watching the brilliant game that is Company of Heroes. We've got a fantastic 2v2 unfolding before our eyes here.
Yep, Gold Path, the reigning winners of the last two major 2v2 tournaments, facing off against Black Phoenix, looking really strong right now. Tick down Black Phoenix to just 81 VPs.
Yeah.
They're about to complete the cap once again. Katusha trying to deny the left VP. The Stern Pioneers are just content to sit here in green cover. Maybe stuck around a little long. They do take a shot there.
Yeah, this Stug in jeopardy actually. The 6-pounder has it acquired along with the Firefly. Oh! It's going to get out of there, but only just on low health. Schwerer at HQ, by the way, in a sweet position, is covering this victory point on the left, which is going to make it hell to retake for the Allied forces. But they are trying. However, they're losing the victory point on the right. There's a demo charge here in a sweet position. These Volksgrenadiers are not too close, but if that demo charge were to blow up, it would probably take out a couple of them. Oh, that's a little unlucky for the Allied players, actually, or possibly poor placement on the demo charge. That's not actually in range. They need to move in with these Royal Engineers and get the snipers sweeping these guys off, because the victory points right now are all that matters. And yeah, they need to take this seriously. There we go. Now the Royal Engineers can move up and grab that. I really hope they will very shortly. Oh, there's some more stuff going on. 2v2s are insane. Okay, so Stuka's a Foos barrage landing here in mid. Didn't see if it hit anything, did you?
It didn't connect with anything except the AT gun, which it actually they doubled down and they fired the Nebelwerfer and the Stuka on the same spot and actually outright destroyed the AT gun. So no potential to recruit there for the Allies. Tekposio actually has managed to tech all the way up to a Comet, so he's got a pretty potent combination of a Comet and a Firefly. Here we go, big push coming. Artillery cover coming in as well.
Yeah, the Panther command tank caught out here. Turret jammed from the artillery cover. It's looking pretty sweet. Here comes a Stuka with some smoke pots, though. It's just going to buy time, I guess. The T-3485 sticking its head out way too far. Gets the kill on the Panther. Did not see that coming, but this T-3485 in jeopardy, and the Stug picks up the kill. I think that was an attack ground round through smoke, so nicely placed there. And a lot of Axis infantry buzzing like angry bees here with their hive has just been smashed, the Panther command tank, and they are pissed. They're coming in for this Comet here. A lot of Shreks there.
We could potentially bait him into the demo charge. That could be the kind of events
oh my God,
here they come.
If he gets it, if he gets it. Oh no, it's almost a shame that they got pinned down and forced to retreat by the artillery cover there. Like, oh, that was he almost baited them in. Anyway, at the end of all that, the Allies hold the south victory point, the Axis hold the north, and the middle, a crater-bound, like corpse-filled no man's land, is the only thing separating either of these two teams right now. So here comes another Panther. Oh, the demo charge. Dun 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 dun. It's okay, he's not going to hit it. There we go.
These are going to force the snipers off at the very least, which is actually a very important tool for Kyle right now to deny these VPs. Because without that, he really doesn't have that much pushing power against something like an MG42, and smoke just going around all over the place. The Allies smoking the MG to cap the VP in the middle, the Axis smoking the Vickers as well, so both players are making fantastic use.
Yeah, a lot of smoke.
The smoke, and for the time being, Black Phoenix is going to once again stall the VPs. We got more already coming down. Nebelwerfer taking a shot on the SU-85.
That was a combined shot. The Panzerwerfer and the Werferman just going to blast the hell out of that Vickers. That's a pretty instant give. SU-85, the choice of tech here for Kyle, and I really like this. It's going to be able to use focus sight to just lock down the middle, keep enemy armor out of there, which is that's a really smart choice. The SU-85 is nice. Also, That Firefly is a Katusha. Is that... No, that's another Panzerwerfer. Holy spoons, does this guy have 2 Panzerwerfers? Oh my god, he does. That's a lot of fire. But anyway, yeah, this Firefly is now Veteran C2, so that's actually got improved rate of fire and turret traverse speed. So, like, Veteran C2, for my money, is, like, the most important one for the Firefly. And it now has it, so that's pretty good.
Oh, absolutely. Refuro doesn't even, you know, he's opting to stick with his tier 3 units, getting another Stug. So the Allies desperately need to contest this middle VP. They're playing a little bit passively, in my opinion, just prior to this push they're making now. They're walking the tightrope, man. They have so little margin for error. They're going to have to play this just perfectly.
Yeah.
Or make some sort of big grand push if they're going to turn this game.
Oh, they got a couple of nice squad wipes, though, just now in mid. Some Volks Grenadiers going down, and also a squad that looted the Vickers. And now the Stug gets picked off by the Firefly and the Su-85 in tandem. Very nice. And the Katusha gets its first good barrage of the game, spraying down a number of squads. This MG42 getting wasted. These Pioneers also lucky to survive. No squad wipes. A touch unlucky for the Soviet there. The positioning was great. We've got a Panzer IV command tank on the field, but the Firefly's taking big bites out of that. Here comes the Panther to respond, though. Oh, this is the fight, I reckon. This is like the fight of the game. All the players know it. It's all about this victory point right now. Su-85 in a good position, but the Kettenwerfer has it flanked.
Yeah, very nicely played. The Allies are now starting to feel the pressure. I thought for a moment they had a chance to turn this game, but Goldpath responded very, very well, using their AT to force off the Firefly. The Comet now is getting taken out, or getting tons of damage down from the Stug, and the Shrek's forced to back away. The VP continues to tick for the Axis, down to 66 VPs for Black Phoenix.
Yeah, desperate times indeed. I mean, they still, like the situation was earlier, they still have the tools they need, but now they need time to repair all their vehicles. The Firefly, the Su-85 are all trashed. I think the Comet took a lot of hits as well. Yeah, it's on 2/3 health only. And the Axis players, they've got mid. And, you know, it's a lot less far for them to go to repair. They've got the Mechanized Regiment HQ back, let's just reset the camera back here. They've got the Battle Gripper HQ here. They can heal, reinforce. They've got ample indirect fire, just in case the Allies were able to get on top of this victory point. They could hose it down with Panzerwerfers and give everyone there. Speaking of indirect fire, here comes another Werferman barrage. Let's see what happens here. Oh! Yeah, getting some spicy hits across a number of squads. Oh, the Panzerwerfer's going to follow it up as well. Oh my goodness. God,
yeah,
that is
very
harsh
nice
stuff.
use of that artillery flare ability to scout that out, making it even harder for the Allies to get their tanks repaired.
The demo charge here on the right as well is on top of 2 squads of Volks right now, who are capping this victory point. Oh, it's blown up, but a shower of body parts, but it's not enough. This T-34 might be, though. Gonna, yeah, forces the Volks out, gets a squad wipe on one, and the other guy, is he gonna make it? Run, Hans, run! He gets out of there. And now we got a fight here as this Panther trying to keep the Allies off this victory point. But the Allies are now bleeding at 2 tickets per tick because they've lost this one. That sniper needs to hold fire. If this sniper takes a shot... Uh-oh, that could be it. He's not going to get this cap now, surely. No, he is. He needs to hold fire, though. This sniper is worrying the hell out of me by shooting these tanks. This is just undisciplined play.
This isn't Hollywood, man.
Yeah.
Gas tanks don't actually explode.
Oh, he gets sniped. That's it. That's it. The Wehrmacht sniper picks him off, so the Allies aren't going to grab this victory point. That did become relevant, so they needed to be on hold fire there. That was a bit of a miscontrol there from Kyle.
Yeah, at this stage of the game, it's so hard, you know, you're almost in panic mode. You're down to 20 VPs, you can feel the pressure. It's easy to make mistakes like that. I think that's the nail in the coffin here for the Allies. It's looking pretty grim. Actually, Nagano pushing up with these Shreks, trying to pick up the Katusha, forced to back away. The double Panzerwerfer is also just doing tons of work right now.
Yeah, the amount of indirect fire that the Axis players have access to is really, really good. Like, it's been dominant all game from the early Werferman and then the Panzerwerfers. It's been really good. The Allies tried to establish some indirect fire, but it mostly got killed, the mortar pit. And then, you know, the Katusha was just never really able to find its mark that whole game. It got like 1 or 2 good barrages, but there we go. So taking the first game, it's going to be Gold Path 2, Refero and Nagano looking strong here. And we're going to go move on into the second game as soon as we can here. I'll bring you back to our fantastically handsome faces. There we go. Ding!
My wonderful bedhead. Can you tell I slept in today?
that's the natural look, though. You haven't figured it out. That's what we've got to do as guys. We've just got to be like, oh, I'm this handsome. Oh, I didn't notice. Oh, I've just got a little bit of stubble. My hair's all a mess. That's the plan.
I'm not even trying. That's how
Um,
it works. Yeah, great game. That was a very impressive display by Goldpath. I mean, showing us why they won the last two major 2v2 tournaments. So actually, that's the first time I've ever seen Nagano play with. I'm sorry, I should know his name. Very professional stuff
Refero?
here. Refero, yes. We just watched the whole damn game with him. Yeah, that was very well done, and not to not to say that their opponents didn't play extremely well too, because I really liked how Akira used his snipers that game. He picked up some really nice squad wipes and just timed his shots very well. Just it's tough to crack that hard point on Rails and Metal. It's kind of just all about who can establish the more dominant indirect fire early in the game, and I think the Axis did a great job of that with the IR half track and the Duca. So very nicely played.
Yeah, absolutely, I agree. I think the story of that game um, was definitely the indirect fire. That Werferman coming out early was able to counter the mortar pit, and then the Allies just never felt like they could sink their teeth into that Axis hardpoint that got set up so early. Obviously in game two, the teams will be switched. It'll be Black Path this time. Gold Path are going to be playing as Allies. Black Phoenix, they're going to be playing as Axis. So, we'll have to see if they can mix it up a little bit. Do you think in 2v2s, Axis or Allies in particular are favoured? Because I know the game's really balanced for 1v1. Different things have different importance, different things come into play in 2v2s. So do you think either
Well,
Axis or Allies are preferred in 2v2?
the way that it's played out so far has been, it seems to me that the Allies have an easier time. You have to come, the Axis, certainly, I've seen Axis win games in this league so far. I mean, it's not impossible to do, but you definitely have to have a good game plan and execute it well. So I think the Allies have a wider variety of combinations that can work. Just because, the combination, most of all revolving around how you want to complement the Brits, because the Brits late game is just so strong. Soviets and U.S. forces complement that faction really, really well. You've got the early game punch of those two factions with, the late game, strength of the Brits. I personally, I don't like commenting too much on balance in streams like this because it is so subjective. But yeah, I think it's safe to say Allies are definitely favored. I think Black Phoenix is going to have an uphill battle in game two playing as Axis.
Okay. So I'm just looking right now, just looking to see if that game is up. Can't see it just yet.
I've got it right here.
You
It's
do?
BPX Keklosio's game.
Oh,
Is what it says on my screen.
there we
I
go. It
don't
was
know.
the one I wasn't clicking on. Sweet. All right, cool. So we're going to be able to load straight into game two just now. So we'll go ahead and do that. So looks like the map is gonna be it's gonna be Rails and Metal again. Excellent. So we're gonna have
Yeah,
what is it? Change ends like in football,
yes, they switch sides. The only time you'll see a change of map is if it goes to game three. Game one and game two are always played on the same map. You just switch factions or you just switch sides and you switch sides of the map. So design we don't want there being some awkward game one and game two. We want to be as even as possible in terms of. We just don't. It would be kind of awkward if we switched back. Game two lead to some situations. We're trying to keep the number of disputes to a minimum.
Yep.
So far, we haven't had really any major issues with the players in the league. Everybody's done a pretty good job of getting their games scheduled and haven't had too many, not a lot of drama. Which with a league like this, we have I think we've got over 60 players in this league. So a lot of different things going on here to keep these teams coordinated, and I got to give major props to Existent for helping that. He spends so much time with the players, making sure they're aware of what's going on, how to contact one another, get their games scheduled. So it's been a thrill to be able to work with him because he's doing all the behind the scenes work to make this happen. We just get the pleasure of watching and casting these fantastic games. So major props to all the players and Existent for organizing this and putting on a great show for everybody.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been really cool, and like the website's a fantastic resource. It's so professionally organized, and like look, you can see like surrounding me on this stream like this fantastic logo that's been created above me. All these fantastic backdrops. Like, look at these nameplates. See, it actually says my name just there. And everything like that. It's all really smooth, actually. It's really, really slick. I'm hoping that we can kind of bring some more stuff like this to the ESL even, because as professional as our broadcasts there are, I kind of actually feel like the Vet3 Events package here is really, really cool. So how much time have we got before this game? All right, so we've got 1 minute 30. We're just loading on the game delay right here. So what I'm going to do is just cut here to something else that's totally relevant for the Company of Heroes 2 community. People out there need to know, and that is this. Make War, Not Love 3. So yeah, Make War Not Love 3 is it's an event that's on right now, and it's basically a kind of a competition between 3 RTS games. It's Dawn of War 2, Company of Heroes 2, and Total War Attila. And the way it works is every time you're on Steam and your profile is set to online and you play one of these games, it'll count towards the score of one of these 3 games. And it's running, I believe, all this week. Now, right now, Total War Attila are leading at 78%. Company of Heroes 2 at 50% and Dawn of War at 76%. Wow, how is Dawn of War 2 beating Company of Heroes 2? Madness. So anyway, all you need to do to support your game...
Cheaters!
Yeah, right. Rigged. All you need to do...
demand a recount!
Yeah, well,
Sorry,
we'll get one, damn it. But yeah, so you just basically have to play the game, and I think if your game wins, then you get some free content. Like for Company of Heroes 2, I think it's going to be some skin packages or something like that. Here we go, unlock content. So this is
British
what
forces,
happening.
man.
Yeah, British forces, new commanders. Yeah, here we go. Oh, that's
like, legitimate stuff here. Not some, in the past we got like token victory, like, oh, you get a bloody tank skin, which I personally thought was just blah. But that's just me. It's a goofy thing. It doesn't, it breaks my immersion, man. But yeah, I've got some legit prizes here, man. It's good stuff.
Actually, I think as well, if you come to makewarnotlove.com and then you click on this choose your side thing, and like, I think that's how you register for it. Actually, I'm not actually sure, but anyway. Yeah. So you have to come onto this website and choose your side. But anyway, I remember last time Company of Heroes 2 won, and we all got loads of sweet skins for our tanks for free, which was just awesome. So yeah, that'll be really cool. Let's see now. Yay! Okay, the game is ready. The game is ready. So without further ado, let us jump into Game 2 between Black Path 2 and Gold Path 2 and Black Phoenix. Damn it. Damn it, two teams that begin with names is going to be confusing me. Anyway, let's get some overlays on the loose. Bop. Okay, you all good to go, Festive?
All good to go. I don't do anything, man. Overlays, observer mode it's out of my hands.
Oh yeah, that's right. I have to, this is actually Game 2. There we go. Okay. Without further ado, let's get to some introductions. Spawning in the south, playing as the Allies, it's going to be Gold Path 2, leading 1-0 in this series. Spawning as the United Kingdom forces, we're going to have Nagano. And spawning as the American forces, over here, we're going to have Refuro. So, yep, demonstrated some potent tactics there in Game 1, looking pretty good. Spawning up in the north, playing as the Axis forces, it's Team Black Phoenix. And spawning as the Overcommand West forces, it's going to be Black Phoenix Cactolosio. And spawning as the Wehrmacht forces, it's going to be Black Phoenix Chronosaurus. So we've had a bit of a change out. Looks like Kyle's going to be shifting out and taking his place for Black Phoenix Chronosaurus. So maybe Chronosaurus here. Maybe he was just meditating that entire game, just sipping on the green tea, listening to some whale song, and he's now like one with the universe and ready to break Nagano across his knee. So we'll have to see what he can bring.
He couldn't bring himself to play the Allies. Chronosaurus is our resident Axis player here.
He's the Axis specialist, is he, with no rank on out? Oh, okay.
Yes, he's the ringer. He's the Axis ringer.
Oh, I like it. It's like we're in trouble. We need a really good player to join our game. Okay, cool. So Chronosaurus is going to be repping the Axis tactics. It's also really worth pointing out, actually, he's got the Jaeger armor doctrine. So an elephant on this map is basically GG. Like.
Oh! Did you see that? The first round of the mortar actually picked up a squad there.
Yeah, did it pick up those?
That?
I don't know.
It was the rear echelon.
I can't. Oh yeah, it was rear echelons. Yeah, here they are. Oh, that was brutal.
Oh.
Oh well, that's a good start. You see, that's what that Axis specialist means. You get hits on your mortars. It doesn't, by the way, for people watching. So anyway, yeah, we've got a determined push here. Nagano and Rafuro, like, putting everything into trying to hold the dream house here in the south of the map. Fight's going pretty well for them, actually. They're pushing pretty deep, but this GR34 has already given them one squad wipe, and there's more and more Axis infantry coming, so I don't know if these Tommies and these riflemen are going to be able to push through. The Vickers leaves the building, actually, coming forward into a slightly dangerous position. This is going to allow this Kugelwagen to flank it, and that's really hazardous. The mortar also picking it down. The gunner's going to die, and if the Vickers goes, I feel like they can't hold this flank.
Peclosio just lost a Volk squad. He's really hemorrhaging infantry. Might lose another. Good God, it's so low. This two-man Volk squad's just barely going to get away. MG42 was forced off a while ago, and both of these infantry, this infantry fight is just basically ended in a stalemate. Look at this. Nobody's capped anything on either side. Both teams went all in on this fuel. Looks like the Allies are going to be able to secure this portion of the map. Axis is going to be forced to regroup. So while last game, Goldpath opted not to push heavily into this fuel and try and contest that, rather opted to cap the north. We're seeing Black Phoenix playing a little bit, you know, like they've got, like this is an elimination game for them, which, you know, they're going to try and take the initiative early. I like it.
Yeah. Yeah, likewise. It's really smart. I mean, this is kind of what they did on the other game. They managed to get that battle group at HQ deployed into a really nice position and basically never ever had to give it up. Never had to let it down, you know? Never had to fool around and lose it. I don't know where I'm going with this.
Oh, God. Magpie, please.
Yeah. So anyway, they basically managed to get the battle group at HQ set up in a really nice position, never lost it, and that was really good. So this time, looks like they're intent on holding the dream house, doing so quite nicely. You're right there, Festive.
I'm sorry, I'll get it together. That was just a little much.
Oh, what it was I was editing the overlay at the same time, so like my mind was just running on auto, and I was like, what am I talking about? I appear to be rickrolling everyone, but okay. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I'll tell you what though, the Axis players have actually retaken the Dream House in South. They're going to be able to get this MG42 into it. The GR34, which has already claimed a squad wipe, is going to be able to take its pride of position wherever Chronosaurus feels like placing it. So that's pretty nice. In terms of the rest of the map, though, it's all pretty much going the Allies' way. Like, all the Axis units, bar one squad of Volks, are down in the south here. So that's a problem right now for Black Phoenix. They need to get some units up to the north.
Yeah, they're committing so hard. It's going to be really difficult for them to control this portion of the map, because while this garrison is extremely strong for the southern side, it's not really that great for the north. As you can see, there's only one window facing this approach, so you don't get a ton of DPS. It's really easy to abuse. You can just stick a squad right in front of that door and force at you know, the northern players trying to camp that house. So I don't know. We'll see if they can make it work. Chronosaurus trying to lay some wire down to deny that trench, but you know, obviously an astute player can simply vault over the wall there. So not going to do a whole lot, but every little bit does count. And you know, interesting. Okay, here we go. Keklosia laying down battle group headquarters. They're going to try and make a stand here on this fuel.
I like this positioning as well. I mean, I play as Overcommand quite a lot, and I do play 2v2 quite a lot, and on this map, this is a fantastic position for your battle group at HQ. You know, you've got the Dream House here, it's close to fuel, it's close to the victory point, it's also close to a lot of decent cover, a lot of nice places for your infantry to fight from, and it's also kind of like up on this high ground, so you can like rest your tanks up here whilst they repair, which is quite nice. So yeah, like the positioning there. It seems like the Axis players have actually sunk their teeth into mid. They've been able to capture it quickly there. This Kugelwagen going to try and defend it from all these riflemen who are going to retake it, but nicely done there to actually get that mid for a while. And the scoreline's at the moment pretty damn close. So I think it's safe to say this game already looking better for Team Black Phoenix than the first game.
Yes, absolutely. They've definitely made a decisive push. They're probably going to, I mean, this is going to be really hard for Goldpath to push off. I don't think they're probably even going to make an attempt to push this fuel off directly. I think they're probably just going to stretch the map on Black Phoenix, and I really worry about Black Phoenix kind of getting enveloped here, because there's really not a lot to defend this flank on the left from, and as you can see, you know, there's just Allied infantry all over the place.
Yeah, oh my goodness. I'm sorry, my overlay is like breaking on me here. You know what, I'm just going to hide the scores. If people want to know the scores, they can just type in !score. Into the Twitch chat there. So if you just type in !score, it should come up with the present score. I'm just going to give it a test run now. Oh no, it hasn't been updated. So we'll update that in just a second. So that'll be working. But yeah, I couldn't find a good place on the overlay for the score, so that is now gone.
Armored car completed.
All right. I mean, there's plenty of people in the chat that can update everybody. This is oh God, Chronosaurus opting not to play with a sniper, which on this map as Austere it's gonna be. I think that's gonna lead to some problems for them. It's so hard to force these Tommies out of cover directly, and Nagano's got a sniper of his own, so we'll see if Chronosaurus is gonna probably go with just heavy LMG play. It looks like he's got 3 Grenadiers. They're going to have a tough time dealing with this armored car. Keklosio's only got 1 Shrek. He's building a Raketin in response, so does manage to get a Faust off on it, which is going to buy them a little bit of time. But yeah, it's going to be, I think the Allies are going to start rolling with the light armor here pretty soon. The Stewart is just about to hit the field as well, so Axis going to have to respond pretty quickly if they don't want to get forced off the field here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a lot of pressure coming in, a lot of Allied infantry. And I think that the USF is a really smart pick over Soviets, because like it looks really smart right now anyway, because riflemen are just really strong at this phase in the game. Of course, like the mass fire from the Garand's putting out a lot of pain on the Germans right now. And also, as you're saying, the fact that Nagano has a sniper, but there's no snipers for the Axis forces, feels weird. So yeah, they might have to get a sniper at some point. This SAS sniper's just going to start running away. He's already on 5 kills. He might get more, but we've got a Stewart here coming for Refero, and I like this actually.
I like this little bugger with the lovely bird shit skin.
Yeah, that's the Valentine's bird shit is the name of that skin.
Yes, Valentine's bird shit.
But it's getting stuck in straight away here. This Axis hardpoint under some threat here, and is there a pack gun? There is a pack gun. Okay, it's set up in a nice position. It gets a hit into the side of this Stewart. Nicely done there. Bang, a second hit.
Wow, Shrek's pushing up as well.
Yeah, Stewart gets taken out by these Volks with a Shrek. That's awesome. Does a little donut before it goes down. And yeah, there goes the Stewart. That didn't last long, but now we've got an AEC. But I feel like the pack gun and the Shrek Volks are here now. Whoa, those Volks going to go for an immediate salvage. Turbo risky. They don't want to be doing that with an AEC shelling them.
Yeah, very nicely played there by Nagano to try and deny that salvage. And here we go, pack pushed up on the AEC, going to force it off as well. So Black Phoenix really applying a lot of pressure now. And, one thing to keep in mind, however, is that every time they try and counter-harass the North, they weaken their hardpoint here. So, and, these Volk squad, if they were to, hard retreat in the North, they have a long retreat pack because they're going to retreat back to their HQ rather than the forward HQ. So it's going to take them off the field for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. But, I really do like this position because, like, the Axis players, like, they're having a reasonably easy time holding mid and south, and if they just keep doing that, they'll find themselves in a nice spot. But, they're doing more than that. Look at the minimap. I mean, I'm not framing it with the camera because there's not that much action, but there's a Kubelwagen and 2 squads of Volks up there, threatening the VP, threatening the fuel, threatening the other point. They forced the only allied forces in the north out, so there's actually going to be a triple cap here for the Axis players. Black Phoenix looking really good here, I think. I mean, that's
and this mortar really is kind of filling the role of the sniper. It's doing a nice job of punishing squads standing back in indirect or in heavy cover, and just trying to whittle the Axis down. This mortar's been just fantastic. Already triple vet.
Yeah, I know. In a 10-minute game so far, like triple vet mortar in under 11 minutes is pretty damn hench. How many kills on that thing? 10. It just got another.
10 kills. Yeah.
Oh, but here comes some pyrotechnics package on the Dream House. So that's the Dream Wrecker right there. So that's gonna smash this house down, I would have thought. 25-pounder's gonna be hooning on in from the British players' base. How many are we talking here? Oh, only one 25-pounder actually, so not that spicy. But look at the Axis players actually. They're not afraid to keep pushing up. They're gonna grab this munitions point. There's a mortar pit being built by the Allied players here, but that might find itself surrounded by a concave of Axis forces shortly.
Oh, that mortar just doing so much work.
Yeah.
Grief. Every time they try and push up, they're just getting shelled. Oh, wow. That round almost connects with his fellow rifleman.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been good.
Rifleman.
That 25-pounder round looking a little bit too close there. So is there an ambulance set up here? Yeah, okay, so here's the ambulance. That's why these American forces are like soft falling back to here. That makes a lot of sense. But this Axis position is actually putting out a lot of fire, and I think the mortar, given time, will be able to beat the mortar pit. It's just harder to hit, it fires faster, it can reinforce easier from this battle group HQ here. And all of the Grenadiers have LMG-42s. We've got a 222 coming, actually.
Interesting. You know, oh, he's getting that for the spotting scope. And we do have a command, which brings us to the commander choice. Brontosaurus
Yes!
going with Jaeger armor, with
Yes!
the infamous elephant waiting for him at the end of that tech tree.
That's my boy. I love this commander. I think spotting scopes are epic. If you get them on Stugs, it's great. You've got the recon ability just in case you need it. You've got the Stuka bomb to combine with the recon ability, and you've got the Regal anti-tank mine, which, like the Spanish Inquisition, no one sees coming. And when you hit one of those, you know it. Like, it's such a big AT mine. It's like ba-boom. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's brutal.
Yeah, although I suppose
You know,
nobody uses half tracks, so we don't see them even so.
yeah. It's a bit of a, you know, a dated unit now. And look, there's just so much going on right now. So much infantry pushing up. Oh wow, we just saw a counter or that sniper get picked off by this, just shredded by all these grenadiers. So Nagano losing his sniper is actually now down to a rather small army composition here.
Yeah. Let's bring it up on the screen here. Yeah. So just 3 squads of Tommies, Royal Engineers of Vickers, the AEC, and the Mortar Pit. That Mortar Pit has been doing work, though. It is on 5 kills, 2.5 stars vet, so doing more damage than getting kills, definitely. And the Allied forces have managed to resecure the North Victory Point. They've resecured mid, so the Axis are back under the clock. They've got some tickets to work with, though. They've managed to build up a bit of a lead, and a Rifleman squad actually getting wiped at the top here. I think that they fell foul of some Shoe Mines and some Storm Pioneers and just kind of got insta-wiped. That's pretty harsh. So yeah. Axis players still looking good, but they need to get control of mid again, I think.
Yeah, I'm worried about. I mean, traditionally, at least before Tactical Support Company came out, the downside of playing U.S. forces with Brits was the lack of any real solid indirect fire. But Refuro has access to that Calliope, should he choose to go for that. So I think that is going to be the way to go to deal with this type of play. I mean, just like last game, it's all going to come down to, can the Allies punish this forward retreat point that is netting the Axis so much territory. So would not be surprised at all to see Refuro go with the Tactical Support Company. And check this out, the 222s on the field with the spotting scopes. Check out with the Fog of War just how much vision that gives them. It's really incredible.
Yeah, it is ludicrous. There we go. So I've just turned on Fog of War. That spotting scope 222 is spotting to here. It is
all the way to the MG in that
quite
house.
Epic, yeah. Yeah, spotting scope's one of the most underrated upgrades, I think. I mean, people tend to rate it highly, it's just nobody tends to go for it. That might be because of the commanders, I suppose, but still, it is definitely one of the most useful upgrades, and it turns Stugs from a very good unit into an absolute monster. So, I mean, I don't know if we're going to see some Stugs. When I use this commander, the Jaeger Armor Doctrine, and I do use it reasonably often, I always get a brace of Stugs with spotting scopes, and I use them to tide me over till I get to the elephant, and because they can deal with basically everything, it's pretty nice. But anyway, Chronosaurus probably a better player than I, so I'm taking notes here.
Yeah, Chronosaurus has not opted to tech, which I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea, because they've got an advantage in terms of VPs. You'd think that he might be interested in trying to push that a little bit with some tier 3 units, but instead looks like he's going to be going for the elephant instead.
Yeah, which is just fine, you know. I mean, the elephant's more than fine on this map. The elephant's almost a win. The reason for that, the reason I say that is because if you look at the minimap, see how narrow this map is. The range on the elephant basically means that you can park it in the middle and it can shoot anything anywhere with just very small travel distance, and it's very, very hard to flank it on a map this narrow and this open in the middle. So, yeah. Allied players getting a nice push here, though.
Oh, that pack gun getting a little bit greedy, trying to take out the mortar pit. It actually gets wiped and going to get recrewed by Refuro, so or certainly has the opportunity to.
That mortar pit on its last legs, though. I think one more mortar should take it out from the GR34. One more hit should be enough to destroy it. We'll have to see if he's going to get it. Actually, these Grenadiers feeling feisty. They're going to come forwards. They want that pack gun back. They're going to hose down the riflemen who were crewing it. Let's see. The captain's here. Meanwhile, the Axis players did retake mid. There's a Panzer IV on the battlefield, which is totally policing north, so I imagine the Axis players are going to take north as well. And this is looking really good for Black Phoenix. They're almost like a different team. Chronosaurus here. I don't know if he gave them a pep talk, or I don't know if he just came in and took charge or whatever. Or I don't know. Maybe Cat Lucio was playing one-handed. I don't know.
Chronosaurus is going to come in. Let me show you boys how it's done. This is how a real man plays Axis.
Yeah. Santa Claus is coming to town.
Hey, look at this push by Keklosio, really wanting to take out that mortar pit. It's dangerously low, trying to get repaired by the Royal Engies, but there's nothing defending this northern point. All of these Volks going to be able to push up and clear the mortar pit despite the brace.
Yeah. Yeah, that was nice work from the Axis players. They knew what they needed to do and they knew how to do it, and they took advantage of that opportunity. This GR34 BT Dubs, shout out to 20 kills.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's like pretty good for a mortar. It's going to be taking some fire from this pack howitzer though. So the USF have got their own version of the mortar now on the field. Boom! Oh, and it kills the GR34
wow,
in one hit. Brutality. So there we go. That's how it's done. Hero mortar going down.
It looks like Goldpath might be feeling the pressure now. They've got the triple cap. They're opting to smoke the mid VP and cap with a two-man rifle squad. So, bit desperate plays there. They're pushing up the right as well. Looks like Chronosaurus has lost a Grenadier at one point. He had a Gren that was triple vet, which went down, and actually Rifleman squad going down for Refuro as well. So
yeah,
both sides exchanging squad wipes here in the mid game.
Yeah. Those Grenadiers picked up a BAR just now, which is really good pickup. So they're going to be looking pretty smart as this game moves on. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think Nagano never really got his teeth into this game so much because, like, I think with Brits, once you start hemorrhaging just one or two squads, things fall apart very quickly. I think with Brits, keeping your squads alive is even more important than with any other faction. And like, his army's just not that big. He's had to replace his sniper once or twice. He's had to replace Tommies here and there. And he just doesn't have that much to work with. Like, I'm looking at his forces, and it's just, you know, for 18 minutes in the game, you know, his opponents have got Panzer IVs and Obersoldaten. You know, it's not enough what he has. So, you know, and also there's going to be an elephant on the field in, like, I don't know, like 2-3 minutes if Chronosaurus starts saving up his manpower right now.
Oh, look at this. A very rarely selected commander. We've got a Royal Artillery Regiment, so going with the heavy indirect fire for the Brits to complement the Calliope that just came in.
Okay.
All of a sudden, we've got all sorts of indirect fire on the field.
Oh,
he actually calls in a Sexton as well.
Yeah. Wow, this is actually the first Sexton I've ever cast live. Like, that's how unpopular they've been.
Soak it in, Magpie.
Yeah.
Soak in the mediocrity.
Yeah, what are you saying? There's a fantastic unit, obviously. Look at this thing. They're so cheap as well, aren't they? They're like 60 or 7, no, 90 fuel? Yeah, 90 fuel, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were so cheap. Wow. And all of a sudden, this whole portion of the map is just going to get absolutely littered by indirect fire now.
Yeah.
And, oh wow, Ober's getting picked up by the pack howitzer as well.
Calliope rounds are going to hit the battle group at HQ. They wipe out an MG42 that was waiting to reinforce there. And now you can feel the tides turning just a little bit, but they need to. Look at the scoreline. You know, 236 for the Allies under 434. Basically a 200-point lead right now for Black Phoenix. So, you know, and they've also got a lot of spicy units. They're about to have well, actually, Chronosaurus is spending his manpower too quickly. They're still just as far away from the elephant as they were last time we spoke about it.
Yeah, he's desperately trying to hold the line, and now that hero mortar is getting stolen by Refuro.
Oh yeah.
So this is all of a sudden. Oh wait, might not pick it up. Rifle nade clears it. Wow.
Yeah, he doesn't manage to keep that one, sadly. Getting gibbed by a rifle grenade right in their prime. They're like, yeah, we got the GR34, lads, get out. So yeah, they just died.
Mortar was outright destroyed.
Oh, was it? Oh yeah.
Yeah, can't even pick it up. Actually, really unfortunate for the Axis. And here we go, just three squads left for Chronosaurus. So, kind of in one fell swoop, we see the tides turn, and it's only a matter of time before this indirect fires on cooldown or off cooldown. And here you go, Sexton already firing again.
Yeah, listen to that bassy whump as those shells land in. Oh, find some grenadiers there, getting a nice hit, decent splash damage. Peppering these Germans with shrapnel. Oh, these Sextons are actually looking really good, actually, and they're so cheap. He could just call in another if he wants. This is quite a savvy commander pick for 2v2, I think. Ah, Panther command tank though.
Ooh, wow, very nice. That is going to complement that Panzer IV and the Elephant quite well, actually. Panther command tank. Best thing about that is it has a marked target ability. The coordinated fire. It's only 35 munitions. It's almost exactly like the Soviet counterpart, and that coupled with the Elephant's damage is just going to be insane. If he can ever manage to call the Elephant out, I mean, he's got the fuel for it for a while now, but he's so starved for manpower. just trying desperately to hold this VP lead that they've got.
Yeah, I mean, repairs are coming down on the battle group at HQ. This Axis hardpoint is intact. There's a nice MG bunker here on the right as well, just to the right of the battle group at HQ. Pack guns are still here. And I think with the Panther and the Panzer IV, as you were saying, he's going to be able to maybe probe and find the Sextons, or maybe find the Calliope. Speaking of the Calliope, a massive barrage going to hoon down on these Grenadiers, and these Volksgrenadiers are giving a squad of Volksgrenadiers and dealing heinous damage to the other infantry present. So this indirect fire is getting out of control for the Allies. I think the Panther Command Tank and the Panzer IV should go on a hunting mission and try and find this Calliope. You know, there's not a lot out there. There's like one AT gun covering it. So that would be pretty sweet. I mean, I know I can see this as an option because I could, you know, I'd have Fog of War and I'm like a caster god and, you know, whatever. Whereas the players are down there like on the battlefield. They don't know that this is an option. But I think you have to sense that that's the tables are turning. They need to pivot and try something different. And that has to be to kill this indirect fire. Also, the Elephant, by the way, is not the plan. Panzerwerfer is the plan.
Alright.
So, yeah.
Interesting. They're well with the spotting scopes, no doubt about that. They certainly have the targets for it. There's just an absolute ton of infantry running around all over the place. Some of the support weapons as well.
Yeah.
You know, if you look at the middle here, Refuro's got two packs in the pack howitzer, all within, you know, relatively close striking distance from one another. So, I like the call. I definitely do.
Yeah.
I think they need that.
And the Panzerwerfer taking some shots here. Don't know where they're going to land. Finds the pack howitzer, instantly kills it. And that's the power of the Panzerwerfer right there. Allies giving you problems? Pick up a Panzerwerfer. Because they're pretty good.
The Black Phoenix still looking really strong. Goldpath just not able to make very much headway despite the fact that they've now got the Calliope and the Sexton on the field. So I definitely major props. Black Phoenix has come around and looked very, very strong in Game 2.
Yeah, I totally agree. You know, but to their credit, Goldpath have actually grabbed the middle VP, and that is buying them a lot of time right now. Wow, this Panzer IV getting super aggressive, going to come on out here to defend the leftmost victory point. As it should. This is really nice. You know, there is an M1 anti-tank gun and a captain squad in the hood, so I don't think this is going to be enough. Actually, oh, right, the rear echelons have a detector. That's why the booby trap's not going off. This Panzer IV being hung out to dry, though. The German player needs to move it, like, right now, or it's going to go down. Where's the anti-tank gun? Getting set up there. The captain taking shots with the Zoot. Panzer IV going to limp away, but that was a close thing there. I was a little worried for that Panzer IV. And they need a lot more squads that can repair out here, because that Panzer IV is knackered. The Panzer needs repairs. This battle gripper needs repairs. This bunker needs repairs. So definitely being stretched thin right now are the Axis players.
Yeah, definitely. We might be seeing Kekalosio go with a with a repair truck just to kind of ease that burden. Calliope barrage going in, whittling the bunker down. Might get the wipe depending on the scatter of these rockets, but not connecting with much else. Does clear the bunker. So gonna at least open up the right a little bit.
Yeah, Nagano's gone up to twin SAS snipers, and they just hammered down an AT gun crew, and they're probably going to do the same to this pack gun actually.
Oh, massive push here in the middle. They're going to try and force off this hard point frontally. They're not even going to bother stretching the field. We got this sniper picking off the MG. We're probably going to see some pyrotechnic supplies go down on this truck as well.
Here comes the Panzerwerfer. Finds the SAS snipers. Doesn't kill them. So unlucky for the Axis players. Forces them back though, and that's relevant because this fight is still alive here.
Yeah, you managed to get the battle group all the way back to full health, just about. More artillery coming down on it as we speak, but yeah, this is just a struggle, man. Both teams are just grinding for this right VP. Just a little bit of counter-harassing on the left. We see some nice booby traps going down from Kekalosio, continuing to try and deny that VP, and we've got two Panzer IVs now on the field. So two Panzer IVs and a Command Panther, and it looks like they're on the move. Just like you suggested earlier, they might be going to try and pick up this Calliope or some of this indirect fire.
Yeah, quite possibly. They're not far enough actually. He just needs to get in there a little further. I think he can probably see it. The 222 may be able to see that. Let me just select Chronosaurus here and just turn on the old Fog of War. Oh, just doesn't see. Okay, now he sees the Sexton. The Panther and the Panzer IV, they really want it, so they're going to try and pick it up, but they're actually forced to deal with the AEC first. That makes sense. You want to take that little thing out, because that can actually bite back, unlike a Sexton. And actually, you know what? The AT gun combined with the AC going to force these guys back. So, wow. Oh, but here comes another Panzer IV from the east. Oh, what is that? Oh god, the Calliope just flailing rounds in. But this is all
Yep.
okay for Black Phoenix because they have the mid and the north.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as they can continue to apply pressure, they're doing fine. Here we go. Command Panther pushing in on the Sexton. Just barely sneaks out of range there. But does manage to pick up the ambulance. So a nice little consolation prize there
Yeah.
for Caclosio. Nice pickup.
Yeah, definitely. A little silver lining there. And the Sexton was super wounded. That's been forced back, so that will give them some Sexton free time whilst that thing gets repaired, possibly. And I can't believe that the Allies are actually holding the South VP. Like, that's the one they're holding. You know, the one which is like 10 yards from the battle group at HQ. But it's not enough to win. That's the problem. I mean, a little scuffle here up in the north, but Obersoldat and beat rear echelons, it turns out, and that they're going to do.
Burrow might be sleeping a little bit. Might actually lose it.
Yeah, he does. That's the first true mistake I've seen from Refuro, I think. Like. But yeah, now the Tommies are getting mowed down. Nagano knows he needs to get something done and done now, but he overstays his welcome. Overlapping fields of fire for the German troops here. One 3-star squad goes down. The other squad still taking a lot of fire. Calliope flailing rounds in, though. Picks up a squad of grenadiers, I think. But that may
Very
be all she
nicely
wrote.
dodged there by Chronosaurus for the most part.
The
He
two
split his
SAS
squads
snipers.
almost perfectly.
These two SAS snipers are back. There we go, yeah. Nearly getting a squad back, forcing the grenadiers back. Nagano using them very cleverly there.
Oh, here we go. We've got a Stuka bomb coming in. Oh, wow. Fitting his time there. Nicely dodged by Nagano. P4 going to push up and try and take out these Calliopes, but guess what? That's on a Sherman chassis, buddy.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Absolutely. But he's got backup here. Shrek Volk are in the hood. And the Panther Command Tank, like, where is that thing? Is that thing repaired? Because it had an engine damage. Yeah, that thing's repaired. Here it comes now. So 40 tickets left in the tank here for Gold
Wow.
Path. I don't think
happened
it's enough.
quickly.
Whoa, Firefly in the hood, though. Oh, that changes
Yeah, a
things.
nice shot from the Sexton. Drops the command tank down to 50% health.
Yeah. And the Calliope peppering the victory point. Again, the battle group at HQ is now destroyed. The Germans have hemorrhaged troops, but is it enough? Like, can the Allies actually grab some victory points back? They've got nothing on mid. They got nothing on north. So, yeah, they're going to surrender. Wow, Gold Path has seen enough. And we're going to go to an ace match.
Woo! Wow. Very nicely played by Black Phoenix. That was... I was skeptical at first. I was like, that is a really aggressive truck. It's going to take so much effort to hold that. But, man, just lasted him the whole game. Only until just now did it finally get destroyed. So, very nicely done. Excellent execution of that strategy.
Yeah, just solidly impressive stuff.
We see both games this match, or both match. I don't know. I need to get my terminology down. It's week 2. Give me a break. Both of these games have been decided by the Axis team, so that's interesting. Runs counter to what I was saying earlier.
Yeah, good point, actually. Yeah, that is true. But, you know, the Axis are a spicy team. They get a lot of really good stuff. And I mean, for me, the early GR34 was pivotal. It secured a number of squad wipes and gave them total control of the one point on the map that they said they wanted to control. You know, the Dream House, get the battle group at HQ deployed.
Yep.
And with that foothold, you know, it looked really shaky, but the Allies threw everything they had at that battle gripper. And even though they got it, and they even grabbed the South VP for a while, they had nothing for mid and north. So the Axis was still able to win. So yeah, I believe it'll be Black Phoenix with faction pick, right? Because they came out of that with 434 victory points. So I think that means they get faction pick.
Yeah, I don't recall how many Gold Path won in the first round. Existent has just messaged me telling us they are doing the veto now, so we might potentially see a different for the Ace game. We'll have to wait. But yeah, very, very interesting stuff. I really enjoyed that game. People hating on the Sexton in chat, guys, that thing had a 49% efficiency, so maybe might be some merit to it. Although I don't know, it definitely helped, if nothing else, displace some of those units or force them to at least move around. That's something, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, like, I mean, I'm looking here. Wow, we're up to 135 viewers, so a very warm welcome to everybody out there in the chat. Thanks very much for choosing to spend your Monday evening with us. We've got an ace match on our hands here between Black Phoenix and Gold Path. The games so far have been close and bloody. But the scores have not been close. Game 1 looked pretty good on the score lines for Goldpath, Nagano, and Refuro taking that one nicely. Game 2, pretty much just a flip reverse, basically. Black Phoenix looking pretty comfy. It was definitely closer, insofar as they nearly got broken at the end. But yeah, they were able to take Game 2. So all bets are off in Game 3. No idea what's going to happen here. This like I don't know what I'm going to see even.
Yeah, I mean, I think Chronosaurus played extremely well that game. His mortar was so good. I mean, I think he was maybe ace in the hole. Although that being said, Keklosio did a fantastic job towards the end with that. Just continue to apply pressure with his Panzer IV and his command tank. There's Command Panther. So yeah, I think if Black Phoenix, they certainly look strong playing the Axis. So if they if they come out playing the Axis this game, I like their chances. But yeah, I mean both teams have looked really good. So I just crapshoot, man. I don't know. I don't know what we're gonna see.
Yeah. And I really like the way as well. Like the teams, I think they're actually taking this top-notch team league really seriously. Like the gloves are off.
Absolutely.
Nobody's just kind of playing for larks or anything. There's some genuine 2v2 abuse that they are trying to patch together here. We saw this last week as well. There was some actually like premeditated acts of 2v2 aggression going on. It wasn't just like, let's just get together and play a game. There's planning, strategy going on in here. These guys are actually playing to win, which is really nice. It's just cool to see.
The level of play has been it's been so good. I haven't had the pleasure of casting such good 2v2 games in a long time. It kind of is eye opening for me as a player to be able to see just what is capable of being done with two really really good players who are on the same page. Would you send me the invite one more time? We need the
obligatory sure, of course.
Invite,
we need the old silver bullet invite. There it is. That one should work. The second one always seems to work. No idea why that is. There we go.
That one didn't. That one didn't work.
No?
Wait, did it?
You seem to be in the party.
Oh yeah, there I am. Okay, cool.
There we go. So yeah, the vetoes are now done. I'm just going to take a look here and see if I can see it, and I can. So we are ready for Game 3. Pardon me. The map is going to be Vaux Farmlands this time round.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. I think this is a really Allied favored map. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. It's definitely Allied favored. And Goldpath did have faction choice.
Okay.
They are going with their Allied play, despite the fact that they just lost as the Allies. So feeling confident in their Allied play, probably going to favor them on this map, no doubt. That being said, it's a great map for the forward battle group of headquarters, like we saw last time. It's so big and so open. If you can cut that retreat point down, to half, and then make a really nice hard point around it, you can definitely use it to control 1VP.
Yeah, we're
not going to be able to get the triple cap like they did last game, though. I don't think.
Looks like Black Phoenix are going to keep their lineup intact. We'll do the player intros in just a second, so everyone will be able to see that. But yeah, so we're into the game now. We've got a 4-minute and 30 wait. That's just the game delay, of course. That's standard regulations. That has to be in place, of course, to prevent stream sniping and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we've got a 4-minute delay here whilst we just wait for the match to actually start. And, I don't know. Actually, I've been asking all the other casters this recently festive. I haven't had a chance to ask you. What's your favourite Company of Heroes 2 piece of dialogue? Go.
Probably... it's got to be the Jaeger light infantry have some of my favorite lines. My favorite of theirs is "Marching, we live for fucking marching." They're just the saltiest bastards. Those guys are always bitching about something.
It's true. They're really
love the
Jaegers.
Jaegers crack me up.
That's cool. I think General's Gentleman, the GG the Machine. Yeah, he said his favorite was "Oh, look, Stalin's little girls are coming." Or you know that one?
Good. Yeah. I also like "Get a real machine gun, you primitive bastards." When they're the Germans talking shit on the Maxim.
On the Maxim, yeah. You can't hit shit with that Maxim, can you?
That's one of my favorite. I love that.
Yeah, that's some
the
good
voice
ones.
acting in this game is great. They did a fantastic job. I really like what they did with the Brits. I was a little disappointed. I felt like they could have done more with the Americans. You know, like the United States has such a diverse, so many different, accents. I mean, it's kind of dying out now a little bit, sadly. But they don't have any Southern accents. Don't really have a Brooklyn accent. It's all just kind of like generic. Kind of like, listen up, guys. All right, go take that point. Just like your kind of average drill sergeant sounding guy. But
Yeah.
there's a little. Felt like there was some room to do some creative stuff there. But it's all right. I still love the U.S. Forces. They're still one of my favorite factions.
Yeah, I mean, the sound design for the US was good, and they do come across as being like, I mean, it's totally acceptable, but like, you're right, the British voice acting and the British sound design just blew them out of the water. Like, it was just so very good. And like, as someone who's British, actually, like, I recognize all of those accents. Like, they've got the machine gun teams are from Manchester, the Royal Engineers are from Wales. No, sorry, the machine gun teams are they're Scousers, aren't they? They're the Liverpool guys. But anyway. Yeah, like, it literally feels like they've just got a load of people from around the UK, and also there's like some New Zealand guys, like the fighter pilots are like New Zealand guys. Oh,
I
sorry.
didn't know that. That's pretty neat.
I put some music on, but people are saying it's too loud, so I've just like put it down a bit.
Okay.
So
yeah, I really like. I mean, you can see the production getting, or like the little things, the production value for all the factions going, just getting better and better. The Soviets and the Oster were solid, but I think they, just the little touches on the units, like for example, on the Comet, you can see them, ejecting the shell out of the side of the tank after it fires. It's just little things like that.
Oh,
they did just a great job with the Brits.
I think
the smoke was pouring out of the tanks, as they accelerate.
I like the Pershing, because when they fire that little hatch at the back of the turret opens and somebody just like lobs the shell casing out and then it like shuts again. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love those little things like that, especially as a caster. It's nice to sit back and cast some games, because I have played a lot of this game. And when you're trying to play at a high level, it can be a challenge to, you don't notice the little things like that. So being able to sit back and just appreciate, what a good looking game this is, and just it's refreshing to me. If I ever start getting too salty, just cast a few games, feel better.
Yeah, it's funny how that works, actually, because when you're playing, you're like, man, that was like, oh god, I didn't stand a chance in that game, and it does feel bad, but then you cast, and there's no pressure, you just get to bask in the glory of the engine, bask in the glory of the game, watch other people try their heart out to try and win, and yeah, I know what you mean, it's refreshing, it brings you right back around.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, looks like we're now ready to begin. The count is over, so I will now cut to the game. And we can begin casting the ace match, the finale of this evening's entertainment. So we're going to go pop. There we go. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, a very warm welcome. Thank you very much for choosing to spend your evening with us. We're coming at you right now with the ace match in this series between Black Phoenix and Gold Path 2. Spawning in the west, playing as the Allies, we're going to have a Gold Path 2 consisting of, we've got the United States forces of GP2 Nagano and the United Kingdom forces of GP2 Refuro. Spawning in the east, we've got the Axis players and Team Black Phoenix. Spawning as the Overcommand West pieces, we've got BPX Cactluzio. And spawning as the Wehrmacht pieces, in fact known as something as a Wehrmacht specialist, it's BPX Chronosaurus. The map is going to be, this is, Vo Farmlands, that's the map.
There you go.
So yeah, we were just saying a little bit of an Axis, an Allied favored map. Festive Long Johns, what's the weather forecast? What are your predictions for this game?
You know what? After the last two games we saw, I have no idea. The Black Phoenix looked awfully good as Axis. They're playing Axis again. I'm interested to see what they do on this map. They're both going to play for the North, which is good. I don't think, nobody really splits the North and the South as Axis on this map. Going to send both of the high-value targets, or high-value units, straight to the North, the Kubel and the Stern Pioneers, to make sure that they secure their own fuel capping the munitions. Meanwhile, Goldpath is opting to split their forces and harass the south, and Nagano is going to send his initial riflemen to the north. So yeah, this is game 3 of week 2 between Goldpath and Black Phoenix. This is the ace game. First 2 games were played on rails and metal. Fantastic games, really well played by both players. So yeah, I'd like to see what we've got in store here.
Yeah, I'm really excited. You know, like I think there's no secret. The standout name in this roster has to be Goldpath 2's Nagano. You know, he's probably the player with the most prestige and possibly the most 1v1 skill coming into this game. Although I don't know that for a fact, but yeah. And he has played well this series. I think in game 1 he really was like the MVP. He anchored the line and he played really nicely. I think game 2 he played as British Forces and he just, I don't know, maybe he had a couple of unlucky squad wipes, but it never really seemed like he had the army, both in terms of size or composition, to really get the job done. So he's switching it up and moving into USF, and I've seen him play USF way more than I have seen him play British Forces. I think this is probably his favourite allied faction, and I think he'll be a lot more comfortable. So I think this is like Nagano unleashed, as it were. He's going to be firing on all cylinders here, I would have thought, with the USF.
Yeah, I think it's definitely a safe choice on this map. There's just so many opportunities for riflemen to roam. That being said, they're trying to pick this fight here, vastly outnumbered. Gonna not really be able to stick around for too much longer. Those rifles are gonna have to get out of there. But Nagano has gone for a really heavy rifle build, going 4 rifles. Likely gonna see the old 4 rifles into Captain, into Stewart, if I had to guess. Very strong on this map. Gives you that soft AT along with the mobile unit like the Stewart that hits the field, you know, relatively early. It can give you a lot of field presence on a map this large.
Yeah, and I think the traditional USF tactic of going for a lieutenant into the old M20 utility car is really, it lacks oomph in a 2v2 because you're not just like harassing and suppressing one guy's forces with an M20 utility car. You know, you're up against 2 players worth of forces, and that M20 starts looking a lot more diluted when it's got twice as many dudes to worry about. Whereas the Stewart, yeah, that's kind of okay, and the Captain will always have utility, so I like what you're saying. It does make good sense, and I do hope we kind of see the Captain first out of Nagano. His Stewart micro is also on point. You know, he's pretty sweet with that unit. So, yeah, that seems like a sensible play to me. Oh wow, the Storm Pioneers actually wiped.
Nice job.
Storm Pioneers get wiped here in the middle, actually. Yeah, so Caclosio losing his elite engineers and his most expensive squad at this early point. Never what you want. And, he's
that being said,
Tommy's.
Caclosio picked up a infantry section there.
Oh, okay.
So both players just going all in on, you know, trying to cut the other one off and catch a squad out of position and make it for a nasty retreat path. Both teams exchanging squad wipes. So Rafero, just 3 squads on the field right now, and one of them being a sniper, which doesn't exactly have a ton of capping power. So he's got a second sniper on the way as well, but the Axis holding the line very well. He's doing a fantastic. They're doing a great job of really, you know, grouping their units together and pushing as one force and just denying the Allies the ability to really start to get aggressive.
Yeah, it's really nice. Kind of an eye for an eye on that squad exchange just now as well. Makes that look not nearly so bad. I was kind of a little worried for the Axis players because whenever you lose your Storm Pioneers that early, it's like alarm bells ringing. That's like so bad. But then if you manage to pick off some Tommies, well, then you start feeling better about things. So looks like we are going to see that Captain tech for Nagano as we were just pontificating about earlier. So probably going to see a Stewart coming out for Nagano, which is pretty cool. Let's take a look at Refero's. Whoa, he's got 2 SAS snipers. Okay. I like that, actually. I think in 2v2s you can totally get away with this. In 1v1s this is not doable. 2v2s you can get away with 2 SAS snipers and it actually starts looking quite smart, especially against the Axis when you can basically 2-shot pack guns and other weapon crews with the 2 snipers. That's really nice. Ooh, wow, incendiary grenade catching a lot of riflemen here in a nasty choke. That was pretty good.
Yeah, totally force them out of cover. The snipers are trying to, you know, this is a bit of an awkward position for them to try and, you know, contest this from, because if they're going to try and get the angle on, they got to expose themselves on this open field. So, you know, Chronosaurus playing once again a heavy grenadier build. He has 4 grens this time instead of 3. And actually we've got a commander choice for Chronosaurus going with Lightning War. So once again, Chronosaurus the first person on each side to lock in that commander.
Yeah, for sure. Whenever I play as Brits on this map, I always have a hard time using snipers around this area. Wow, although they are just massacring these grenadiers, but for the reasons you were just saying, like the line of sight issues in mid actually make this really sniper unfriendly area. So yeah, they're going to try and do what they can. They've definitely revealed themselves now as well, so I wonder if we're going to see from Chrono any kind of a counter sniper, or if he's just going to stick to his guns. I mean, last game he didn't build any counter snipes. He didn't build any snipes at all, actually. So maybe he just doesn't like them. And some players don't. He's open with 4 grands, which usually means you don't want to go snipers.
Yeah, I think that's probably just his playstyle. Oh, interesting. The MG42 has just been flanked and forced off by a lowly rear echelon squad with the Minesweeper. So the 3 puny rear echelons were enough to force a retreat there without any support. So the Northern VP going to be ceded to the Allies, and actually there's nothing stopping them from harassing this fuel. So Goldpath is going to get a decap on the fuel, along with securing the south as well.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, and this is a really good swing for the Allies. I mean, they're also grabbing the south victory point, these riflemen going unopposed down there. There's no mines or anything. It's a little early in the game for mines to be everywhere, especially on a map this big. So, yeah, the advance of the Allies going unchecked at the moment, and here comes a Stuart to pressure mid, and you know what, they're just going to be able to take that with basically no resistance as well. There's a Rakettenwerfer coming up into mid, but it's not going to be enough to push away all this infantry. There's even an SAS sniper, actually, so that Rakettenwerfer doesn't look too hot. So, I don't know, I feel like Caclosio and Chronosaurus are just kind of behind in terms of composition here.
Yeah, it's pretty typical of what you see at this point in the game. Once the Allies get their light vehicles out, it really starts getting hard for the Allies. And being said, here's the Stuart already being put to good use, denying the 222, harassing the south is easily going to clean that up. So, bit of a loss there for Chronosaurus. Not the end of the world. But that is going to, that was the one tool that he had to keep the Allies from just harassing all over the map.
Yeah.
That being said, Caclosio now has responded to the Stuart by going with a Lux, so opting not to go for the direct counter in the Puma, and instead going for a unit that is going to give him basically fill essentially the same role that the Stuart fills. And oh, look at that, actually. This Stuart has taken an engine damage, took a Faust, and we've got the Rakettenwerfer, the Lux, and a squad of Volksgrenadiers pushing up to finish it off, and might actually be able to pick this Stuart up.
Yeah, the Raketten should just, here we go, it's just going to garrison the building, and it'll be able to turn itself in just a second here, and I assume it's set to prioritize vehicles. Here we go. And there's the shot. So the Stuart falls. That leaves this Lux, actually, with targets galore. This is a shooting gallery. This Lux right now is a bowling ball, and there's nothing to stop it knocking down these pins. Actually, whoa, something just broke its engine. What was that? Was that an AT rifle grenade?
Yes,
oh, okay.
It was. Oh my god, did you see that? Oh no! That's terrible. The Rakettenwerfer just sniped the sniper.
What, the SAS sniper?
That's awful, yes.
Oh yeah, here he is! Oh god, that was just off cam. Man, when I play as British forces, right, no kidding, this happens to me all the time. Like, pretty much the only way I lose SAS snipers is to Panzerschrecks and Rakettenwerfer. Like, I kid you not.
Yeah.
They're brutal against snipers.
I have this running joke with my friend Iceman that I don't ever buy Panzerschrecks or bazookas for anti-tank. It's just solely there to this anti-infantry upgrade.
Yeah.
Just there to snipe units.
Yeah, it's just accidentally good against tanks. Looks like, yes, we got the Lux. This Kuba Wagon's going to be good enough to help out here in mid. The Axis forces have actually re-grabbed the southern victory point, which is totally relevant because they're now leading by 40 victory points. And, in 2v2s, the win is always going to be on victory points. So this is what matters right now, the scoreline. But they haven't got anything going north, not even anything going near to north. So the Allies right now still have the northern fuel point, which is totally relevant. If they didn't have that, they'd be, like in a very dangerous position. But as it is, they've got that lifeline up there. They're not bleeding out very fast. They're still getting decent resources. They can have another crack at mid. They can regroup and come back into this. So this game's still, at the moment, pretty much almost even. I mean, definitely the Axis are ahead, but it's so close.
Yeah, that was a really, really huge turn of events there, losing that sniper. It was really unfortunate because, that Refuro went so heavy on the snipers early on. He sacrificed a lot of his actual, field presence because he just doesn't have as many units. So losing that's a really big blow, especially because it didn't really even have that much time to earn its cost back and effectiveness. And now the Lux Gonna push in and try and pick off the sniper.
Yeah.
Gets one shot, doesn't have the damage to finish it off. Actually eats it 2 18 nades now, and the Lukes is dangerously perilous situation. The third riflemen are gonna push up. Probably going to finish it off.
I would have thought so, yeah. The anti-tank gun back there also got a good hit on the Lukes, which is why it's so low on health right now. It's doing its best to keep these riflemen off it, but it's not going to be enough. Is there no munitions, or is the rifle grenade on cooldown? Oh, there it is. Okay, there we go. So the Luke's going to get taken out by these riflemen. Mission accomplished for those boys. The SAS sniper survived.
What are these riflemen doing? You see this?
Where?
They were like running. They just popped back to full speed now. They were just retreating like they were running through mud or something. It was like really strange. I've never seen that before.
We got a Cromwell here from Refuro. Pretty early Cromwell.
Wow, yeah, that is a really early Cromwell. 12 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, opting not to go with the AEC, instead going with the AEC's big brother, the Cromwell. So that's going to have a really big impact. Ooh,
yeah.
Another squad wipe there for Refuro. Well,
the Axis players.
Looks like he lost his sniper.
Oh, whoa, an American Rifleman squad getting taken out there as well. In mid.
Wow.
That was gross. I think, did he just get killed by his own... Did he get killed by this 6-pounder? No. No, he didn't. Okay, right. It looked like the 6-pounder fired and the Rifleman just kind of like exploded and died. So I thought for a second he just got like impaled by his own anti-tank shell, but no. Anyway, here comes the Cromwell. It makes its presence known. These Volks may get a Shrek into it. Or yeah, no, just a flash fallback. Going to be forced. And there's only really a pack gun and a Rakettenwerfer right now to deal with this. So this Cromwell looks really good. I mean, okay, there's 2 Shrek Volks as well. That's not nothing. Oh, the Kubelwagen just, wow. that goes down.
That pesky Kubel.
Yeah,
he's had enough. Yeah, actually, it looks like Refuro, at some point, I don't know where, but Refuro lost his sniper as well, so Refuro really having a rough time with his snipers this game, and Black Phoenix looking very strong, despite the fact that this Cromwell is going to have a big window of opportunity here. You know, Black Phoenix has been looking great so far this game, and we've got Tier 4 now going up for Kithlosio, so he'll have his, you know, really strong medium armor hitting the field to deal with this Cromwell in short order. Yeah.
Cromwell getting a little bit too feisty, actually. He runs into the pack gun and the Rakettenwerfer, takes a round to the nose and is going to back away. So, yeah, these 2 anti-tank pieces being absolutely crucial in dictating where that medium tank can and can't go, and that's probably the only thing the Axis players have to cling to right now in mid. Their position becoming quite beleaguered. There's Tommies and Riflemen just pushing through every available opening. Nice rifle grenade coming down here, getting some good damage. But these Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers are getting overwhelmed. That and the Cromwell is just too much. They're having to make a lot of retreats. They're having to spend a lot of time off the front line. And if the Allies actually manage to send anything to the south, it's going to start looking really bad for Black Phoenix. Like, they're okay for now, as long as they don't lose the south, because like they've got nothing down there. They're just getting all their resources and a victory point from having no units there. So that's okay for them, as long as the Allies don't send anything down there.
Yeah, they do have, which I think is a great call by Chronosaurus, 2 fuel caches, because it is so hard to hold, you know, the fuel on this map as Axis, because it's just so far away from your base. So I like mitigating that risk with the fuel caches. It's a stabilizer income over the long run. And I think, you know, it's interesting. Nagano has opted to go for Rifle Company, which gives them access to that Sherman Easy 8. So, you know, on this map, those medium tanks are just so strong. You know, the Cromwells, the Easy 8s, there's so much room for them to maneuver. You can get nasty flanks on turreted vehicles, so I think we're going to see some you know, medium armor play from the Allies, and Chronosaurus is going to be able to respond with the Tiger tank and the Command Panther, which is just a wonderful combination on this map.
Absolutely, well spotted actually, yeah, and again, this is what I was getting at, like, this isn't just 2 1v1s or like 4 random players playing a 2v2, this is like premeditated acts of 2v2 aggression that we're seeing here, and like, the command tank, the Panther command tank combined with the Tiger tank, that is a sweet late game. If they can get that out, that's going to be so hard to deal with. Now, Refuro is playing Brits, so he's going to have a Firefly, and when there's a Firefly on the field, you know, the game's never really over, at least, you know, for Axis Armor, they always have to be on their toes. But that's going to be one hell of a great late game, so some smart commander picks for the Axis team here, for Black Phoenix. Oh, Rakettenwerfer taking out this fighting position in the north as well, actually.
Yeah, fighting position actually did a nice job of denying that fuel for the last several minutes. So the Cromwell is going to try and force off the Rakettenwerfer, doing a bit of juking, but there are a couple Panzerschreck Volks to support, going to force that off. And now we see the just nasty white phosphorus barrage coming down on the Rakettenwerfer, going to force a retreat, going to allow the Allies to hold that fuel for just a little bit longer. Not going to do too much health damage, but again, denying the fuel to the Axis. Which is all important because, like we spoke of earlier, it's so hard to hold the fuel. It's being currently decapped in the south, so Axis having their fuel income stripped a little bit here. The third fuel cache has now just gone up, though, so despite the fact that they're not connected to either fuel, they're actually mirroring the Allies in terms of their fuel income.
How crazy is that? And you know what? Like, Chronosaurus, I mean, his army's not the biggest, the composition's not the best, but when you take into account the fact that he's built 3 fuel caches, that's, like, absolutely fine. Like, he's still well in this, he's got good veterancy, good upgrades across his units, and I really like the Axis player's position. Like you said, they don't actually hold either fuel, and yet their income is actually slightly higher than the Allies, or as it was for a second there. It's pretty much keeping pace anyway.
Yeah, I think without the early squad wipes from the Axis, Chronosaurus doesn't have the opportunity to build those caches. So we're seeing now, you know, the Axis being able to stay in this game due to those squad wipes, and really they're obviously playing for the late game. You know, they had an opportunity to maybe tech to tier 3, get some pressure down, take advantage of the squad wipes. Instead, they're opting to, you know, play it conservatively, just drain the VPs, throw some caches down, and play for that Tiger in the late game.
Yeah, smart analysis. This is why we keep you along, Festive.
Oh, that's good. It's certainly not for my play-by-play, I'll give you that.
Our attacking hammer tactics are ready for use.
But, yeah, we've got a really interesting mix on the Obersoldaten from Caclosio. He's got 1 squad with LMG-34, 1 with STG-44s, and that's a pretty sweet tag team, actually. Most players would go both one or both the other, you know, like, if one's better, why don't you have both? But interesting interplay. We're going to have to see what they're... I mean, he was taking a sweet fight here, just right in the middle with both of the squads, and they were looking really good. Whoa, he might lose this squad of Obersoldaten, though. He has to be very careful. Now, they're going to get out of there, but just one man very wounded. And a Panzer IV, going to be the weapon of choice here for Caclosio as we move forward, coming up to the 19 minute mark, so... This Panzer IV's got a lot of targets, it can do a lot of good. I like the choice, it's a nice one. If he can keep it alive to get to like 3-4 stars of vet, it's going to be super sweet.
The jig is up as far as the Axis fuel income is concerned. The captain spotted that fuel cache, so you know Chronosaurus made a desperate attempt to try and deny that, but it wasn't quite in time. So nice pickup there from Nagano. I think that's going to be key. I don't think I mean, it's going to be really hard for them to wipe the other caches. So you know, I think. You know, here we go. We see once again the Allies slowly pushing the Axis back. You know, the P4 is definitely going to help. You really need those. You know, you need that medium armor to keep the squads constantly harassing in check. So yeah, and there we go, having an immediate impact, almost wiping this infantry section.
Is he going to get it? No, the cannon shell. Oh, he hits the mines with the cannon shell. God, that's so rare. Oh, that Tommy, it was not his day. He is Calamity James right there. The Panzer IV shell finding some mines on the road there. And speaking of which, the Allied players have been very good about this. There are mines at regular intervals all the way along this road. Some here, so on. So the Axis players are going to have to be really careful about these mines. I mean, they don't even know that yet, but you have to imagine they're going to be careful. There's more mines here. But yeah, the mine's actually backfiring just a tad there. Super unlucky. A little bit of a comedy of errors there. These Grenadiers actually in jeopardy just a touch. Looks like they're going to get out of there. A lot of good cover. Man, these Grenadiers, they all have LMG-42s. They're all 3-star vet. He's lost 1 squad at some point, but he's replacing it right now. But I have to say, Chronosaurus certainly is a Wehrmacht specialist. Oh, the mines find some Grenadiers, though. Wow, that's a mass
Chronosaurus has been... I've been very impressed with Chronosaurus play so far this game. This whole series really, or at least the last two games, because he didn't play the first one. He's been just really on point.
Yeah.
Dodging grenades, just playing very smartly, picking good engagements. I mean, the fact that he's been able to hold the South for so long as Oster on this map, very, very nicely done. He certainly knows what he's doing.
Yeah. Pyrotechnics flare going to come out here in mid. Tommy's getting that one down in a pretty nice position. Going to make the Axis players keep their heads down. Shouldn't do much, but it's always a concern. The Axis players, The Allies took the south for a little while, but the Axis have finally got that one back. They've also addressed the situation up here in the north. They're just going to be taking out these Brit trenches and resecuring the north. So things actually looking pretty sweet right now for Black Phoenix. And I have to say, going into this, I'll be honest with you, I saw a bunch of players whose names I didn't recognize and Nagano. So I was just like, yeah, Goldpath's going to take this one. And then game one, I was just like, yeah, that looked pretty dominant. You know, I know exactly what I'm on about. Company of Heroes 2, I got it figured out. But then Black Phoenix here, not going down without a really good fight. Game 2 was really sweet. Game 3, they've carried that spirit forward. And actually, this is really funny. I was talking about this yesterday in the ESL. In a best-of series, the team who win the second game, if they lost the first game, I always think they have an advantage going into the third game because they're coming off the back of a win, right? Whereas Rufuro and Nagano, they won a game, then they lost a game. So the momentum, the psychology there is just a little bit different. So. Caclosio and Chronosaurus have a lot of momentum moving into this one, and like you can kind of see it in their play. You know, like it's tight, it's well collected. They have a plan, and it's working so far.
Yeah, absolutely, and you know, both teams really have showed a lot of resilience in their play. I haven't really seen anybody seem like they've given up. Everybody, it's all been very tight, and here we go. We've got lots and lots of heavy, medium armor rolling around now. We got the Easy 8 is on the field. The Comet is just now hitting the field as well, and then we got the Big Bad Tiger is making his presence felt in the middle as well. So this is when the game starts escalating right here. This is when it gets exciting, man.
Absolutely, yeah. This Easy 8 is doing a number on a lot of infantry. Like he's already taken out Rakettenwerfer with that. Tiger Tank's actually going to find it, and that's probably going to make the medium tank thing twice. But yeah, we've got the Comet as well. So the Comet Easy 8 is a pretty good tag team. If they can arrange a spit roast on this Tiger, it's going to go down for sure. So he's going to have to be pretty careful. Let's just see what's the armor like here for Caclosio. Okay, so he still has his Panzer IV, only 5 kills and 2/3 of a level of veterancy on that, so not looking too great. If that was like 2 stars right now, I'd be feeling really good. But it is a worthy partner for this Tiger tank. The Axis player is also stacking a lot of fuel, so I think we're going to see that Panther command tank like really soon, in the next 2 minutes. And then that Tiger's going to look really good.
Yeah, they'll be able to roam and just really bully the Allied armor. I mean, despite the fact that you got an Easy 8 and a Comet, I mean, a Tiger with a Command Panther is not really any armor that can stand up to that in a one-to-one slugfest. One other interesting note, Chronosaurus actually has teched Battle Phase 2, so he might be considering teching at some point, because he does have 253 fuel, and he can't do anything else with all that fuel until he actually gets that Tier 3 building down, so got to find the manpower to do it first.
Okay, yeah, very good point, of course, yeah. And I'm sure he'd love to have a Panzerwerfer or something like that. That would break this map wide open, actually. So yeah, he'd like a Panzerwerfer for sure. Has he got his support armor core down?
No, he's got just Tier 2. He's teched the battle phase, but he hasn't put it down yet. He's been too busy reinforcing squads and trying to maintain map control. Gonna have to buy himself a little bit of time. Allies have responded with caches of their own, by the way. They now have 2 caches down as well, so they're really going to be able to churn out the medium armor.
Nice. We got a tank fight coming down here in mid as the Easy 8 and the Comet managed to acquire the Tiger. I was worried for a second because that Tiger was just exposing its rear armor, but he rotated it just before this fight, so nice stuff from Chronosaurus there. Always the mark of a savvy Axis player. He's never caught off guard. Yeah, this the Comet's just going to bail on the fight, which leaves this Easy 8 kind of hung out in front of a Schwerer HQ and a Tiger, not where it wants to be. So the medium tank's going to get back, and the Tiger's going to reign supreme. Here's the Panther command tank, though, as we were just saying earlier, and this is what we call a force multiplier, because not only is it a sweet unit, but it buffs all the units around it, thereby multiplying the power of your force. Ding. So yeah, this Tiger tank now is going to get. There we go. There's the accuracy buff already, and remember, as the Panther command tank levels up, the things the effectiveness of its buff also levels up. So it starts giving more and more abilities to the other tanks. So this is the foundation of a really good late game. If they can keep the Tiger alive, keep the Panther alive, they're well set here at Black Phoenix.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a great response to this Allied play here. It's going to totally shut down all of these medium tanks just roaming around all over the place. They're going to have to be really careful when they do decide to get aggressive. Here we go, Stern Pioneers spotting 2 mines on the road now, so they definitely know that if they are going to push, they need to do it with the support of a minesweeper, because that would be absolutely critical. If either of these tanks get a damaged engine, they are going to be worse for the wear with all these speedy Allied vehicles roaming around.
Yeah, and I'm a little surprised to see the Tiger commit to this fight in mid in front of a 6-pounder and a captain squad. It goes down to nearly half health. Does manage to pick up the AT gun, which is very nice, but it's just you know, a little dangerous there for that Tiger to be out here on that little health. You know, all it takes is a quick flank and an engine break, and suddenly the Comet's all up around it, and things are going bad. But so far that's not happening. So the move is actually looking okay so far for Black Phoenix. With the Comet.
Wow, look at this. Look at the range of this aura. This Command Panther is buffing the P4 all the way up there in the north, as well as the Tiger at the mid VP. So he can just sit in the middle of the map and just buff really anything around it. They don't even have to follow each other around.
Yeah, and what does the buff actually do? So what it does is it improves the sight range and movement of vehicles. Right, okay, so it's not improving the accuracy. That must be when it gets to...
Ooh, look at this push. Big push in the north with all this medium armor. They're chasing down the P4.
Oh yeah, wow, the P4 totally exposed. That just gets gibbed. Wow, that was a 4v1. That was absolutely not what you want. Rakettenwerfer here is going to try and get something done, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes the Panther Command Tank and the Tiger, though.
The response.
Yeah. The big cats are getting angry and they're coming in. Claws out. He might be able to pick up an easy 8 here, I think, with the Panther Command Tank. He should. I don't know, it depends how deep he wants to chase.
Ooh. One of the base traits of this Command Panther is it actually spots for itself. It can get those nice max range shots in an attempt to snipe.
True.
Not going to be enough, though. The last 2 shots miss.
Yeah.
Cromwell overextending a bit now. Gets shocked from the pack target weak point. It's actually going to get picked up. The Comet is also overextended as well. The Easy 8s are too low to support, and this Comet is taking quite a bit of damage.
Yeah, the Panther Command Tank also taking a lot of damage. Whoa, the main gun on the Comet goes down, and it gets taken out by a Rakettenwerfer! Whoa!
Wow.
So big trades going down here, and if this Panther Command Tank can evade this captain who is stalking it, things are going to be absolutely great. The Tiger also has its engine broken, and it's taking big hits right now. What are those hits coming down off? Is that artillery? What is that?
That's from the artillery cover.
Oh, God!
This is absolutely brutal.
It's so accurate!
If the Allies can maintain sight on that, then that Tiger is going to be in trouble, actually. Command Panther trying to back away. It's at a sliver of health.
Yeah, but it's actually going to get out.
Wow.
I think it's going to get out, maybe. Oh no, the artillery cover is going to suppress the Volk, so the captain's still coming in. He's outrunning this Command Panther. Here comes some Storm Pioneers. That surely will deflect this. This captain is on a mission right now. Here come the Obersoldat, and oh my god, no, the captain's overextended. He's going to go down for sure. Oh no, he's not though. The Storm Pioneers stopped firing. Yeah, he is. Okay, the Obersoldat and pick him up. Oh my god, I just don't know what's going on in this game. Like, this is crazy. Wow, so that was a great fight on the whole, because they got the Comet, they got a Cromwell. Did they get an Easy 8? No, okay, they didn't get the Easy 8s.
No, both. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a big win for the Axis in terms of unit and army, unit composition and army size. But they've lost all their map control. Like, look at the map. They're under a triple cap right now, and the resource situation is actually okay because they've got the fuel caches. So they need to get back out there. They need to repair their tanks and get back out there. The Allies have bought themselves a window of time here at the expense of 2 of their tanks, and if they can get entrenched nicely here, maybe kill some of this Axis infantry, then this was maybe still worth it. We'll have to see.
Yeah, well, Goldpath, they may have, thrown a couple of their tanks, but they definitely supported that push a lot better than Black Phoenix. They followed up with all their infantry capping behind. They pushed up with all their rifles as well to force all the Axis infantry off. And yeah, like you said, just bought themselves enough time. And here we go, another Comet on the field once again. So while that push may not have been an even trade in terms of fuel, it certainly bought the momentum, if nothing else.
Yeah, another Panzer IV going to be coming out to replace the one that went down in that fight. So, and another Comet. The British player just had the money to rebuy the Comet pretty much straight away. So, I think we're ready for Tank Battle Round 2 coming up soon.
Yep, the Axis are going to have to stop this triple cap because the Allies have actually almost evened the score. So, going to need to see a quick regroup here from Black Phoenix if they don't want to get completely shoved off the map. What we don't want happening for them is a base ban situation. Brontosaurus really committed to these fuel caches. He's got the third one replaced already. Elixio does cap that VP in the south to slow the drain a little bit. They're trying to retake the fuel in the north, so regrouping. They're both regrouping.
Yeah, a little standoff in mid here between the Comet and the Tiger. Tiger gets the upper end of that, the upper hand, sorry, just because of a Faust coming down off some Grenadiers. Sniper's just pinging the vehicle critical rounds onto the Tiger, managed to jam its turret, but it didn't need to do much aiming there, so that kind of did nothing. And we've got a third Easy 8 coming out for Nagano.
Yeah, oh boy. That's a lot of firepower.
Yeah.
And even with the Command Panther and a P4 and a Tiger, 3 Easy 8s is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, do they get the radio thing at Bet 1? Yeah, they do.
I believe they do, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so for those of you who don't know, what the radio thing does, it basically means that at Veterancy 1, the tanks will buff other tanks nearby. Yeah, that's right. So if they all have Vet 1, which actually isn't that hard to do, the radio network is going to be real for the American player. Like, that's almost going to be like having a Command Panther. So that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, rate of fire and line of sight for a tank like the Easy 8 is just amazing. That's a fantastic combination, and it looks like they might be trying to take advantage of this Tiger being at low health. They've got it supported with an AT gun as well. Both these Easy 8s are going to push up, but they take a Raketen shot, and don't think they're going to be able to finish this one off.
I doubt it. Here come the Panzer IV and the Panther Command Tank coming in from the north. They're just going to sledge on in. The Comet decides to get involved as well, moving in from the west here. And I'm just trying to get all these tanks. We've got a big tank battle coming down here. This is really important stuff now. And yeah, looks like both forces playing it really cautious. That's the mark of higher ranked players, of course. They never want to lose units if they can avoid it. So one of these Sherman Easy 8s gets out on half health. The Panzer IV gets out on half health. The Tiger tank gets out on half health. So they're all going to need repairs. But I think that's still a win for the Allies, right? They got a lot more damage done, and they're going to be able to be more aggressive with their tanks here sooner than the Axis forces are. Whoa, what the? That 6-pounder gun, was that just fed in to free up unit cap for Nagano? No? Okay, that 6-pounder was just a massive misclick. That was just like sprinting into the Axis base there or something. I don't know what his mission was.
Yeah, that happens a lot. You can right-click a tank, and the unit will continue to pursue it even if they don't have vision on it. So you can, you tell it to manually target something, and that tank backs away, and the AT gun's just like, oh, you done told me to kill it, boss. I'm gonna chase it down. I'll do what I told. And you're just like, no.
Yeah, it's kind of the same with snipers, actually. It's why you should pretty much never tell them to attack a unit, because then that unit falls back, and your sniper's just like, I got this, boys, I'm going in. And yeah,
awful.
Doesn't go well.
It's one of my least favorite. Ugh, it's just terrible.
So
that's how I feel when that happens to me.
Yeah, right. Tiger tank gonna reach 2-star vet now, so that's pretty spicy. Doesn't that give it rate of fire? No, accuracy and range. Okay, that's pretty important too, though. So yeah, this Tiger tank becoming quite a monster to be reckoned with here. Yeah, look at that range. Boom. Getting some more nice hits on the Easy 8s. But the Axis players have been under a pretty bad victory point situation for some time. They're at 218 under 254, and they need to do something really soon. This is getting, like, really desperate for them.
It's getting ridiculous, man. We're reaching critical mass here in a really rapid manner. We've got a Panther on the field now and a second Comet. So this is just going to be an epic clash of medium tanks. I cannot wait to see how this plays out.
Oh, God.
This is going to be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, so it's going to be a Panther, a Command Panther, a Panzer IV, and a Tiger versus 3 Easy 8s, and 2 Comets. This is going to be like the tank battle of all tank battles if it happens.
Good luck calling this one, Magpie.
Yeah, I'm calling it now. Black Phoenix have got it. There we go. That's a 50-50 chance, right? Okay, well, we've got the tank battle coming down here. Easy 8s flanking up to the north. The Comet punching through mid. This Panzer IV's caught out a little bit. The Panther Command Tank being focused. Brutal focus fire. The other Comet in a sweet position, tossing a grenade out of the Comet onto this Axis 6-pounder here. The Command Tank gets destroyed. The Easy 8s more than a match, and these 2 Comets are going to try and get the Panzer IV, which is desperately hiding. Where was the Tiger tank during all this? The Tiger tank just miles out of position, couldn't do anything to help. The Allies were basically able to bring all their armoured might to bear against half of the Axis' armoured might, and that means that they get a really sweet fight there. Nagano and Rufero, they're managing to bite off a lot of the Axis forces. Here comes a Panther tank, though, an awkward angle to be engaging from. Tiger tank's going to come in to back it up here, and he's going to try and get one of these Comets at least. Yep, there goes one of the Comets. That one's severely wounded, and an easy pickup for these Axis cats here. And they're going to try and stalk down this other Comet, but that'll be a chase too far, I think, and the British tank will get away. So, wow, what a fight.
Yeah, that was really nicely done by Goldpath. They just swooped in, identified the fact that they had an opportunity, and quickly took advantage of it. Kind of exactly like we saw them do with the P4, which again is going to buy them time and momentum because they forced all of the Axis infantry. They're already back at the base and continuing to drain VPs now. So Black Phoenix down to 150 VPs, and with their all important Panther command tank has now been taken out. That was the one tank that they couldn't afford to lose, and Goldpath did a nice job of picking that up. That was really well done.
It's funny you say that they couldn't afford to lose it, because in about 30 seconds they're going to be able to afford to replace it. Actually, less than that. So actually, they could afford to lose it, but I see what you mean, because all of the veterancy is going to be wiped off it, and this means, this is another 220 fuel, the 225 fuel, sorry, that could have been spent on, well, anything else. They are going to be able to replace it, and I imagine we'll see it coming onto the field in just a second, and we do. But yeah, a bitter loss there for the Axis players, although it's amazing that both teams have so many fuel caches that they're actually able to trade, like, Panther command tanks and Comets, and rebuy them almost instantly, which, I'll be honest, you just never see that. You never see that in 1v1s. Like, this is the first time I've cast a game like this. So that's really awesome. This is what I love about these 2v2 leagues. This is really cool.
Yeah, this is gonna be we're in for another slugfest. Nagano is gonna be approaching another Easy 8 here pretty soon. I don't know if he has the pop cap for it. The Easy 8 is 14 pop, so he's not quite. Oh wait, no, what am I talking about? He's U.S. forces.
Yeah, he can just do the glitch, of course. Yeah, for those of you who don't know, American players can glitch out the Matrix by getting their tank crew out of the tank, then becoming zero supply cap, buying a new tank, and then putting the tank crew back in the tank, so they can go over 100 supply. It's pretty cool, and it totally helps them in late game scenarios like this. And Easy 8 going to get taken out. This Panther command tank in jeopardy. Whoa, this other Easy 8 though, the Panther 4 coming in for a shot here. He's going to get one shot, and it bounces, so the other Easy 8 is going to survive. The Panther 4 is going to have to abandon too many things there. And this Panther command tank is actually in jeopardy here a little bit. Oh, sorry, this is a regular Panther tank, my mistake.
The Tiger went down as well.
What?
The Tiger went down as well in the just in that same engagement. Tiger is down. Now the Allies have an opportunity to really make something happen here. Panther is on its last leg. Comet going to come clean it up. These AT guns are trying to stop this push. It's not going to be enough. We're going to need to see that Tiger on the field as soon as he has the manpower for it if they want to maintain a foothold in this game.
God.
Oh wow.
What the hell killed the Panther? I totally missed that. Terribly sorry to everyone. Oh God.
The EC8s. I should have brought it to your attention sooner, but yeah, they went all in a moment, and it really did happen quick. It was really well executed by Goldpath.
Wow, actually, Mirage Flower in chat here pointing out that the Panther command tank aura, that actually makes it so that the Tiger tanks shots scatter less, which makes them really good against infantry. Just, there's just something just good to know.
That.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mirage Flower.
Yeah, he's a walking encyclopedia. Him and Cruzy are actually, like, the game. You know, they know the code backwards. Whoa, what is this guy? Oh, Glitchy! What is up? It's Thomas Glitcherson. How's it going, buddy? Wow. Okay.
Look at the army composition for Chronosaurus. Now down to 3 Grenadiers and a Tiger tank at his MG. So he's been losing squads in these big engagements. It does become quite a handful to try and micro all of this all at once. And yeah, he's looking a bit on the back foot now in terms of infantry.
All right. So Mirage Flower correcting me. It's the Tiger's Veterancy 2 that reduces its scatter. But I believe the Panther command tank does reduce scatter, right? At Vet 2? Improve weapon tracking and accuracy, yeah. So I guess if you had a 2-star Tiger next to a 2-star Panther command tank, you'd be like gibbing squads every shot? I don't know. Like, that would be pretty good. But anyway, the Allied forces here are going to be resuming the triple cap. They've just grabbed south. There's a lot of Axis forces down there. Angry Grenadiers going to be swarming in. They should be able to deal with these riflemen and take back the South VP and resume slow bleed, if you like. But this is really dire right now for Black Phoenix. They can't afford to replace their tanks again if they lose them. And whoa, we've got a Stuckers of Fuss going to be the choice here from Caclosio.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be great at dealing with these AT guns, that's for sure. I mean, the AT guns are really putting a hurt on every time the Axis tanks try and get aggressive. And yeah, right now they're going to have to do something quick. The Axis are in a really tough spot. We've got 2 Easy 8s in the south swarming this Tiger with absolutely no support whatsoever. But he does call in his ace in the hole, Stuka close air support. Going to do tons of damage and I think probably stop this Easy 8 in its tracks. Wow. I'm always impressed by the amount of damage those things put out.
Whoa, the Panther command tank's getting caught out by 2 comets here. Rear armor is exposed, and it should go down. One more shot required. It may be able to just sneak away here, actually. Wow, and it does. One of the comets goes down because there's a Tiger in its rear armor. God damn it, 2v2s are so hectic.
Yeah, all of this is happening. The triple cap remains, so Black Phoenix is going to have to micro more than their tanks if they want to get get something out of this. All the infantry is just now coming out of the base, and you see the Axis going for some indirect fire here in a situation like this. We've got a Stuka, like you pointed out earlier, and the Nebelwerfers on the field now as well. I don't know if that's necessarily the right call when you've got medium tanks swarming you left and right.
Yeah, interesting. This Panzerwerfer actually also in jeopardy here. Okay, it's not going to get taken out, but that was pretty close. Tiger tank going up to 1-star veterancy, so that's pretty nice.
Yeah, this is looking rough for the Axis right now. I think the Allies are, this is their game to lose. Black Phoenix has lost so much infantry. Calixtio, god damn it, I feel like I'm saying his name wrong this entire time. he's got, a decent amount of infantry, but there's really nothing he can do to stop these Easy 8s from marauding all over the map.
Yeah, they just don't quite have enough. I mean, they're going to maybe grab north. Okay, yeah, they managed to grab north, but you know what? American tanks, you can just hop the crew out and retake that, so it won't be for long. They're down at 23 under 218. I don't know if there's a line of play here that keeps them in the game. They're going to throw everything at mid, but there's just so many MGs here. Also, the Pyrotechnics flare going to come down off this SAS sniper. Panzerwerfer's going to take a shot, though. Finds the nice cluster, takes out an anti-tank gun. Oh, it doesn't get a squad wipe on the MGs. Wow, that's pretty unlucky. But now the 25-pounder rounds are coming in. And meanwhile, at south, some Volksgrenadiers bravely trying to take the VP, but they will fail. So a triple neutralization for the Axis players, but they're not going to be able to make it stick.
Yeah, there's just so much medium armor rolling around. We've got the 2 Easy 8s and the Comet pushing into the middle VP, wiping another squad of Axis infantry. There's nothing that can stop this push right now. The Allies are just gonna seal the deal here. They're gonna drive this one home with one last epic push just to keep the pressure on. Even if they throw all this armor in this engagement, I don't think that it's gonna be enough for Black Phoenix to come back from. This Comet has taken tons of damage. It's gonna go down to the Tiger and the Panther. Meanwhile, the Easy 8s are pushing in from the south. They don't have a ton of support as the other 2 Easy 8s are defending the VP in the north, but the triple cap about to be resumed, and I think we're going to see the finale right about now. Oh boy.
Yeah, that's pretty brutal. A valiant fight there from Caclosio and Chronosaurus, but it is going to be Gold Path 2, Refero and Nagano taking this series down 2-1, and that was I think it's safe to say that was a lot closer than I was expecting. Black Phoenix definitely one to watch in games coming up, because that was pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to be honest with you. I was rooting for him. I try not to play favorites when I'm casting, but I want to see somebody knock off Gold Path, man. They've been so strong, and I think Black Phoenix came really, really close. That game, I think, was decided on that initial push when the Gold Path traded the Comet for the Command Panther, the first Command Panther, which set up the triple cap and allowed them to continue dictating those exchanges, push in with all their medium armor. I mean, props to Black Phoenix. It's tough to deal with that strategy on this map, and I think they had the army composition to do it. They just got caught a little bit out of position. Gold Path, just executed a little bit better.
Yeah, for sure. And it is nice to see Nagano flex his muscles. Like, I have to say, I am quite a fan of him. Like, every time I see him play, he always looks pretty good. So I'm just looking here to see at the bracket here. So it hasn't just been quite updated. In fact, why don't I bring this up so that you guys can see? So here's the bracket, or rather, here's the league just down here in the bottom right. So that will put the that will put Black Phoenix, they'll remain on 2 points, and Gold Path, they'll go up to 3, so they'll be joint second, I think. I think that's how it works, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so they'll be joint second in Group B. That's a nice place to be. Power of Awakening, we've got to catch some games with them. They're apparently leading the group there. So, yeah. Fantastic games. Thank you very much to all of our players, and thank you very much to everybody out in the stream. We're up to nearly 160 viewers just there, which is fantastic because like Relic was streaming, Love Nest is streaming, like there's so many other things going on. So thanks very much for, you know, choosing to spend your time with us. It was a pleasure and an honor to bring you these games, a pleasure and an honor to cast with you Festive Long Johns.
Likewise.
Let's see. Have you got any final words or anything you want to say?
Keep an eye on us for casting Thursday. I'm not sure who exactly is going to be hosting it. I mean, if plans stay as they are now, I believe I'll be casting on Thursday with somebody. Maybe Stormless, maybe you. I don't know. Maybe AE. But I know we have plans to cast this Thursday. We'll be casting Week 3 matches. That is that was the final game that we'll be casting from Week 2. So Week 2 in the books for the most part. We got a few teams that still need to get their games played in Group A. Yeah, this league has been going off without a hitch, man. We've got some standings are starting to develop. Teams are starting to kind of, establish, who's going to be, ones to look out for. Power of Awakening sitting up on top of the standings with 4 points. We cleaned up the Forgotten Defenders of Moria and Rage Squirt, who are a bit, they're a little less well known, so the schedule only going to get tougher for them. So we'll see if they can hold their lead going forward. But yeah, this is shaping up to be a really, really interesting league. Again, it's 7 weeks long for the regular season, and then we go into a tournament-style playoff after that, featuring the top 4 teams from the group. So yeah, exciting stuff, man. This has been a pleasure to cast. It's so tough casting 2v2s. It's hard to catch it all, but I think we're getting it down.
Yeah, I think we're getting there. 2v2s are really hard to cast. Like, they really are. And actually, you know what? Thank you very much to chat was correcting me like every 2 seconds. People were like, no, Magpie this, or oh, hey, Magpie, you missed this going on. So thanks very much to the people in chat. It is super useful because honestly, when you're trying to speak, listen to what your co-caster is saying, pan around the map, catch the action, also, everything else when you're casting. And in my, for me as well, I'm watching OBS and so on like that. This is only my 3rd live cast, by the way. So, thanks very much to the chat warriors. Thanks very much to Fahu for being an epic mod and updating the scores on Moobot. He's an actual legend. He is like mod incarnate. And, of course, thanks to Existent for organizing this entire thing. Vet3 Events is his baby, and he's been a dude bringing us all together. I'll just quickly bring this to your attention one more time. So, yeah, head on over to makewarnotlove.com and pick a side, because that way we can win some sweet free content for... so if you scroll down to the bottom here, just hit Company of Heroes 2, and that will register your vote, and that way we can get some more sweet free content in Company of Heroes 2. So I don't know if it's going to be skins, commanders, or what the deal is, but it's always good to get free stuff. And I think Company of Heroes 2 has won every single Make War Not Love so far. Don't quote me on that, but I know we've won a few. So it would be really, really cool if we could, beat the others. That would just be a nice thing for us. So yeah, definitely go check out the website, support Company of Heroes support Company of Heroes 2. That's awesome. And so yeah, we'll be streaming on Thursday. There's a chance that I'll be streaming maybe same time tomorrow, casting from replay, maybe a series, not sure on that, but I'll update you all at Twitter at MagpieCaster, and you can catch me on youtube.com/Magpie842 for some more sweet VODs and content there. One last time, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys soon.